Let me hit start streaming. You all ready?
Yeah, no. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it. And yeah, we're live. Nice.
All right.
So we have a few topics for today. And the title for this is Infidelity. We're going to be talking about relationships. To start things off, what do you guys consider infidelity or cheating? Or what is cheating to you?
Change your topic. This is out of Vince, man. Just
Yeah, Vince, what do you consider infidelity in a
What
relationship?
do I consider? What defines infidelity to me?
Yes.
I feel like
like in your book.
it isn't just physical. Like it starts emotionally. Like
Right.
when you basically giving somebody else emotional access,
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be like special towards your partner in like directly.
Okay.
Sharing your secrets, your dreams, your affections,
Yeah.
all of that. Like any form of betrayal in a way.
But betrayal to some people isn't the same. So I'll give you an example for me. I would consider cheating being emotionally engaged with someone, because I believe if you sharing your vulnerabilities or your insecurities or emotional circumstances that you're under right now, that is creating the grounds for cheating. So what do you say about that? Because I think that's an aspect that people ignore all the time.
I mean, I agree. Cheating could start off from physical. It could stem down to emotional.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like when a male cheats, so to say, I feel like it comes more from like a physical aspect. But
Yeah.
a female cheat, it stems more from emotional.
Right.
But
but
I'm gonna be honest, right?
mm-hmm.
In my view, I would say that emotional cheating almost like when it starts off emotional. I'm not saying just emotional, but when it starts off emotional,
Right.
emotional cheating is much worse than just physical cheating.
Well, one thing what I pretty sure I said was a part of cheating is the emotional aspect, and a lot of the times it starts off with an emotional connection. For example, the way you get a feeling of arousal, it comes from an emotional standpoint sometimes as well. So in order for you to cheat or like do anything that strikes up a dopamine response, you have to have you gotta know this person, you have to have a conversation, you gotta spark in order for you to ignite some fire, you know what I mean? So I think for me personally, infidelity really is harboring or fostering an environment for emotional connection. Like if you crying, don't go around no strange dudes. If I'm being honest, if I catch you going around strange dudes, you gotta kick rocks. I'm being so honest with
red
you.
flag.
Absolutely no doubt about it. Because I'm your man's. If you can't call me, what you calling? Why in your life? And
Yeah.
I think that's a very important thing you bring up, though.
What's that?
That like them going to it's and let me elaborate further. I wouldn't say it's just them going to random men. I think it's them going to other things. Like when there's something deeply emotional happening, especially something that is affected by your relationship.
Right.
If they're going to other people and they're not speaking to you about it, that's a very big red flag. I've had that experience before, like, and I understand, like, look, I understand some people, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to my therapist and stuff. Yes, the major issues in your life, go talk to your therapist about, sure. But if that issue, even after you talk to your therapist says, hey, that issue is very much between you and your partner, At that point, or whatever issue it is, and it's stemming from either my behavior or your behavior towards me, we need to have that conversation. For you to go to someone else, whether even if that's just a therapist, and just trying to work out everything over there, that will never work.
Right.
It'll only work if you do it with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can see where you're coming from.
It's very important for a relationship to work in a dynamic where both people are speaking to each other. Because it will never work if both people aren't speaking about their issues.
I feel like I think that people underestimate the potential that comes when you actually engage with your partner and you speak about issues that need to be spoken about with your partner. Talking about your issues with someone else ain't gonna solve the problem, really. Right. Exactly. And complaining about the problem ain't gonna solve the problem. So what other solution do you have? Address the problem, fixing the problem, talking to the person directly. It's gonna be uncomfortable as hell, and it's gonna be very uncomfortable and scary. But that is a part of like being in a relationship. And if you're doing that with someone else, you opening up yourself.
Completely honest, that's a part of life. Like doing all the things around the thing aren't doing the thing, but doing the thing is doing the thing. So if you have a problem with someone, the only real way you could fix it is by having that conversation.
Let me ask you this: you think emotional cheating is more damaging than
it is?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You feel emotional cheating is more damaging than?
Oh yes, 100%. That's what I was saying in the beginning when you guys started talking about it. Was that emotional cheating, like that? Because here's the thing, and I want y'all to be honest with this, right? If you catch someone cheating on you physically, that's like an immediate break. That's like you going 100 miles an hour, and that's an immediate break. Like all momentum gone. You fly out the car. You fly out the windshield, right? All abroad, and it's over. That's over. Like that relationship, that car is over.
Right.
But on and done. Like in an emotional cheating scenario, you have to actualize, you have to realize that this person, they actually went out of their way. They went out of their way outside of the relationship to do other things to fulfill whatever emotional hole they had, and then they did the physical cheating. Or even if they didn't do the physical cheating, the emotional cheating just says that this person was so outside the realm of just conversing with you and figuring things out with you that they resorted to doing all those other things. That is a much worse mental state or a mental issue to deal with than, oh, they cheated on me physically. Because if they cheated on you physically, you done anyway. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But like the emotional cheating, that's like, oh, like we had an issue and you didn't even fix it with me. You went and you did something much worse.
Exactly.
For me, I feel like when someone like cheat physically, the betrayal is basically tied to a moment. Like it's like an auction.
It's traumatic.
Compartmentalize it, kind of move forward from it if you really want to. But like emotional cheating isn't like about one reckless moment. It's like
it is built up. It has like a snowball effect, right?
So the way that I like to describe it is just the difference between getting shot and getting poisoned.
That's exactly what toxicity is, and I'm happy that we all agree on it. I would say, in my experience with emotional cheating or observing emotional cheating is damaging because you are giving a false impression. Because usually when you catch someone emotionally cheating, they don't really acknowledge it as cheating, and they always try to rub it off as, oh, we didn't do anything, but you did. You made yourself vulnerable. You were comfortable allowing yourself to be comfortable with this next person, and now you want to just talk or like act as if everything fine. That'll mentally wreck you. And for me, it was traumatizing, especially when you're someone that's in denial of it ever happening or dismissive about it, like saying, oh, you'll be fine. That does wreck you in ways that you wouldn't even realize. quite frankly. But
with that being said,
yeah,
drop a point right here. With the idea that emotional cheating is still cheating and it is still a problem, it being poison, right? When is the threshold for deciding to call it quits? Because it's very obvious you can call it quits when physically cheating, but when emotionally cheating, is it like a poison threshold with the analogy Steph said, or is the moment poison introduced the time of cutoff?
I'll say this. I think different tolerance levels allow for different responses. For me personally, if I get a sign or a hint of emotional cheating, I believe that it's one or two things that needs to be done. I need to change how I'm approaching my partner, or really my partner is just terrible. If I know that I'm doing what I need to do and I'm not making an excuse for them emotionally cheating, because right or wrong, reason or not, you still emotionally cheated, and that's how I roll. I'll check myself. I would check myself to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. But for some people, they would put up with a lot of nonsense and a lot of disrespect and a lot of emotional cheating, or they fall victim to it because they get emotionally manipulated into relationships that they don't necessarily want to stay in.
Now, can I add a 2 cents to that from my personal experience?
Right.
No, my personal experience, it wasn't really with emotional cheating specifically, but it was close to it, right? It
was fostering the environment for it.
It was something that I had noticed that there was a possibility of it happening. And I know that sounds like a very far-fetched idea, but the thing is, I wasn't completely in the know. Now, there's a lot of people who are very much in the know, and they will start to, do whatever they do in their relationship.
Right.
So for me, I wasn't completely in the know until after a breakup. So after the breakup is when I saw the behaviors that led me to understand that there was emotional cheating happening. But the point is that during the time that I was having a difficult time in a relationship, I started to realize that emotional cheating a lot of times isn't just with a person either, right? Sometimes they will start to bolster the emotion away from you, right?
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, they're going to try to push away from you because they know they want something different, and they know they want to, like, in the back of their mind, they know they want to throw you to the side and do something on their own, right? So me personally, what I have realized over time, and what I carry with me into any other relationship that I will ever be in, is that emotional cheating for me is a no-no from the get-go, right? Like, the thing is, like, I'm not gonna be like, okay, we immediately break up the moment I think that you like someone else, because we are human at the end of the day. There will be times that you like someone else, right?
That's natural.
And I say like in a very light sense. I'm not saying that you completely are in love with someone. I'm just saying, like, oh, this person might look physically attracted, or maybe they speak in a charming way. Like, those attractions exist as humans, right? But for me, it's when your attention or your energy, essentially, like your attention and energy diverts from me and my needs and from the needs of our relationship to someone else, right? The moment that sort of switch happens, that's when I'm like, okay, we have to cut that off.
Okay.
Right? Now, if they have in my perspective, if that person has a huge amount of pushback, or my girl has a huge amount of pushback on me saying you're gonna cut that off,
right?
When she understands what I'm saying, right? Like, if I come in and I explain it properly and she understands what I'm saying, and she says, no, I don't want to cut that off because because X, Y, and Z, that's when I look at that as a complete red flag. That's when I'm like, okay, we're done here. That's the deal breaker, right? Because the initial is, hey, I feel uncomfortable with what you're doing, right? And this is the reason why I'm feeling uncomfortable with what you're doing, and I want you to cut it off. And then if they're like, no, that's you being controlling, that's you being this and that. Look, I don't
Immediate
stand
break
for any of
off.
that. I don't stand for any of that. There is no such thing as me being controlling. There's no such thing as me. Because here's the thing. I know that there's controlling men, but
Right.
I'm being completely reasonable with you. And the reason I'm being completely reasonable is if you came to me and you said the same thing, if you're like, hey, I think you're getting too emotionally involved with this girl that you see at work, I'll be like, okay, baby, cut off. Right? Like it's that simple.
It is really that simple. It can be that simple, but a lot of the times people don't make it that simple. Why? Because they're already emotionally engaged. The ball already started rolling.
So I don't deal with it once the ball starts rolling. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Like the initial feelings I can understand, but if the ball starts rolling, you on your own.
Okay, so that's my question. Okay.
I think also, what's happening with the stream? I think also that people oftentimes, are we off stream right now? The stream's still going?
Yeah, it's a stream.
Okay.
But hold on, let me comment on something what Seth said. I agree though, because I feel like when your attention and energy shift away, basically when you stop watering what you built together.
Yeah.
May not have a side chick or females a side dude, but
you ain't rocking with it.
Once you already start choosing something else, church just as bad. Sometimes even worse. Person, quote unquote, love,
right,
pulling away without even having physically.
I think, from my experience, the worst feeling you could ever have is knowing someone is pulling away, and I'm sure girls just complain about this a lot, and guys just feel it a lot too. But the worst feeling you could have is knowing someone is pulling away, and you try to like add more air to the flame, throw more gas on it, and it just won't kick up. And I think people stay longer than they need to when it is that way, sadly. But the reality is that person already is they're making their way out the door. Really, they're making their way out the door and staying around hoping that they're gonna rekindle whatever it is. Rekindling doesn't happen for no reason. It's no coincidence that people get back together. And it's on someone's end that they are reconnecting with someone, but a lot of people choose not to reconnect for whatever reason it may be, whatever reason. But rekindling is not magic. Really, it's not magical. I think that we can move on to the next conversation point, actually. The next thing I want to ask is it possible to truly forgive and rebuild after cheating?
No, man. I think
okay, so I think forgiveness is possible. Like, but rebuilding is a whole other process. Like,
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
To let go of that bitterness and build like the trust actually requires change, transparency, and willingness to walk through the uncomfortable conversations. But a lot of people don't wish to do that.
See, I have to agree.
Get it. You know?
I have to agree with Vince, man. Like, look, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck because, you know, like, we gotta follow God, right? God say forgive and forget sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
He does. The thing is, in certain scenarios, especially when it comes to cheating, not especially, I'll be honest, in certain scenarios, you can forgive someone, you know. It's like, okay, I forgive you because you did something stupid.
But I don't have to fix it.
I don't have to put up with it.
Exactly.
I don't have to fix it. I don't have to put up with it. I don't have to agree with it. In fact, I don't even agree with why you did it. I forgive you for doing it so that I can continue with my life, but I do not agree with what you did. Like, what you did will forever hurt me and will forever change how I'm going to behave in the future. But what you did was wrong. Now, look, God is the final judge, so I could forgive you, but that's up to God to forgive you. You know?
I think another thing to consider with that forgiveness part is reconciliation is 100% optional. God never told us to reconcile with these people that do us terribly, because I have the belief that you can make mistakes, but sometimes you really are diabolical. I think an aspect of disrespect, if you are disrespectful, you're a disrespectful person. But in the regards of cheating, like reconciliation, boy, I'm gonna be honest. If I were to cheat, I wouldn't expect I wouldn't expect my partner to take me back, and I wouldn't want to go back. That's my 2 cents on it, quite frankly. I wouldn't want to go back into a relationship where I cheated, because I know that I made a mistake, and the reason why I made a mistake is deeper than them. And even if I were to go back, that's something that is damaging to relationships in general. So, boy, reconciliation, very, very different. Very, very, very different from just forgiving.
Not only is it different, but it's also, I was about to say, it's disrespectful to yourself. Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, that's like you saying, if I physically, as your best friend or as your friend, I stabbed you in the back. Say we're in a fight, right? Mm-hmm. We're in a fight. I'm on your side, and I stab you in the back. In a moment that could have very much got you killed, right?
Right.
I stabbed you in the back in a moment that could have gotten you killed, and I pulled a knife, and I'm like, Baron, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to stab you like that. You could turn around and say, like, bro, that's okay.
I ain't gonna dap you up and say, yeah, man, everything cool. No, everything is not cool.
Everything is not cool.
Like, what? Everything is not cool. You stabbed me, bro. I can say, you know what? After I didn't get patched up and I done heal the wound, I say, you know what? I forgive you, but no, everything ain't cool, and everything ain't gonna be cool, because I'll never forget. You stabbed me in the back. You stabbed me in the back.
Self-awareness.
I might be like, okay, I understand it was a heated moment. You did what you did.
But you did what you did.
Go your way.
Like, really, you did what you did, but you also did what you did. Yeah, don't make the mistake. And I have that self-awareness. I know me very well. I've been with myself for as long as I've been with myself. The reality is, if someone does something diabolical like that, like betray me, I won't see you as anything but a betrayer. No, I can forgive you, but my the lens are off. The cat's out the bag.
Like these will stay clear lenses.
Yes,
they will never turn rose tinted again.
Especially in a relationship, especially if that's my girl.
Because once see it, forget it not. For once, an enemy can never be.
Amen.
No, man.
Cooking with that, like just cooking with that, really. And people
but I
take
respect that when you say,
what's that?
When you say you wouldn't go back.
No, I wouldn't go back.
Like it shows that you recognize that if you broke someone like that, going back may not be fair to them. I think a lot of people cheat and then try to come back for them.
No, I wouldn't. I would feel guilt. Definitely, I would feel guilt. And shame and guilt will be two in the same. In order for me to go back to a person, if I were to cheat on them, I think I would have to go to therapy, and that person will have to go to therapy, and we would have to start our relationship off fresh, like from the ground up, and come as new people, both of us, because carrying on like everything is cool is just not. That's not.
And then that's also because cheating doesn't really just damage the other person. It also damages how you view yourself too.
Exactly.
Like sometimes the best thing you could do is, after hurting somebody, is not putting them through more by trying to stay connected. And you already broke the bond.
Exactly. And I think people do that a lot. Like I see in the toxic videos of people that catch cheating on their girlfriend, break up with them, or they leave their girlfriend, and then they go singing to their house or knocking on the door, baby, please. That may be begging, and I don't beg, but that's also a sign that it isn't working. It's already showing you that relationship ain't really working out. Because why you gotta go beg, bro? Why you gotta beg someone to stay in your life?
Say the only time I buy that behavior is in a first relationship or you're very young, right?
Yeah.
Like
naive.
Like this might be your first relationship, or you just like this is like you're very young, maybe a teenager, and you're like, okay, maybe this works like this, but like when you understand how it works, like you understand the way that the world works, and you come back and you do stuff like that, all right, I
Absolutely
can't,
not. Yeah, you can't let that
I
slide.
can't co-sign that.
I can't stand on it either. I really can't. I think people a lot of the times make those mistakes though.
They do. They do. And I mean, like, again, with the whole like being young and stuff, that's like there's a first time that you might make some of those mistakes.
But you gotta
Like
learn.
what you and I see as essentially sins of dating.
Mm-hmm.
There's some younger man out there who needs to go through that process to understand. Maybe there's people who told him, but until he emotionally understands the depth of those situations, for some people it doesn't hit until they're affected by it themselves.
I think that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah. But once they feel it, that's when you know, okay, well, you're done for. Like you're never gonna do it again.
Exactly. You really ain't gonna do it no more.
I
But
mean, that's real though. Some people don't truly understand the weight real until they're the one sitting on the other side, basically, like feeling the emptiness and the confusion.
but why do you
And
think
They
that
another,
is?
downplay the damage.
Why do you think that is?
I feel like it's easy to downplay the damage when you're the one causing it, but when you have to live through it yourself, that's like when reality really is. Sometimes pain is only the teacher. Pride will listen to. Sadly, for some people, empathy was when they experience harm they once thought was.
Interesting, actually, that you mentioned that because I for one have experienced a fair share of learning from my mistakes, because I could hear a lot of people say whatever it is they want to say or whatever experiences they would have went through, and I just say, hey, that ain't gonna happen to me. I would be completely deluded, completely dismissive of it, and the only way that I would logically get better were to be from my mistakes. Yeah.
yeah. But you're right. You're right. And I think I'm someone who has almost not in the sense of dating, but in other areas of my life, I've taken a lot of pride in sort of overcoming my mistakes. You know,
Okay.
my mistakes have been my biggest teachers in life. As someone who didn't go a lot of the traditional route, as people would say,
Right.
it became the center point of my life. Is okay, if I make a mistake, it's not just a bad thing. It's actually just a point where I need to learn, where I need to change, where I need, like, making a mistake is teaching me that there's a better way to do something, right?
Right.
And that is a sentiment I try to carry with anything I do, right? And that's made my life a lot better. Just so I wouldn't look down on mistakes too much. I would just look down on repeating mistakes.
Okay.
That's the thing that I look down on.
Yeah, because you haven't learned from your mistakes, clearly.
Repeating, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what repeating mistakes means. It means you haven't learned yet. And for some people, like the lack of discipline, that'll have them making the same mistake a million times. A million times. Like you know, and in my personal field, I've seen that a lot. Is that people will make the exact same mistake multiple times. And I've been a victim of this when I was younger as well, where I would make the same exact mistake multiple times.
Right.
But it took a lot of learning to understand, okay, you could do the same mistake once, maybe twice. At the third time, you will definitely change. If you don't change by the third time, there's things that you need to just sit down and you need to fix. You need to sit down. You really, really got to sit down and fix.
Right.
You know?
I respect it though.
I think,
like, yeah, we all are human. Mistakes are part of the process of growth.
right.
Like, the first time you mess up, you can honestly be like, awake. like a moment to reflect and do better.
Yes.
When the same mistakes stops being a mistake and become a choice, like it shows the lack of accountability and growth. I believe mistakes deserve grace, but repeated disrespects like shows you.
It shows you the person's character.
Where someone heart really is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I believe mistakes aren't meant to be stepping stones, cycles.
Right. In my experience of making a lot of mistakes, because I love to make a lot of mistakes because I learn from my mistakes better than anything else. I've made a lot of poor decisions. I don't even like to call them mistakes. I like to call them poor decisions. Because really I did decide I would sit down and think before I do. The poor decisions that I would have made a lot of the time in my life, after I made the decisions, I knew what the consequences, so I wouldn't be mad at anyone but myself, and sometimes I wouldn't even be mad at myself because I knew why I made that decision. It takes a level of self-awareness also to be stern and comfortable with that acceptance. So knowing that you're going to make a mistake, or knowing that the decision that you're going to make is going to affect you possibly, and you therefore need to either choose to do better or refuse not to, is totally on you as an individual. And some people, they're not even aware to that magnitude. Because let's be honest, a lot of people in society are not aware of what, they're not even like cognizant of what they doing in life. They don't even know what they want in life. So they for sure don't know why they doing what they doing. But for myself, say that's what I think.
Yeah, that's a good thing though, because it takes a lot of growth to be able to look at your past and not beat yourself up, but actually understand yourself. Like a lot of people live in, I'd say, like stuck in guilt.
Yes.
Or they stay blind to their own patterns.
Right.
When you could say, yeah, I made those decisions. I know why, and I'm learning from them. Mm-hmm. That's when real healing starts. Like it's not about being perfect. It's about being honest enough with yourself to not carry shame, still carry wisdom. At the end of the day, your past mistakes aren't meant to be. They're supposed to be lessons. Better.
You drive an interesting point, and you said something before, like about a point or two ago, where you say, I think it was along the lines of you learning, and it's a part of life.
Yep,
that's what you said.
I was saying, you gotta tell yourself, yeah, I made those decisions. I know why, and I'm learning from them.
Right.
That's when the real healing starts.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think so. What you're saying is acceptance is the first step, really.
And acceptance is the first step to recovery. What I was gonna say was this: I think accepting and acknowledging the problems that I do have in life has made me a lot more happier, because with me acknowledging that I have a problem or problems, whatever it may be, I then can make motion towards repairing those issues or sorting them out. But another thing that needs to be spoken about or addressed is the amount of people that are delusional in society these days, because instead of them being honest with themselves and being realistic about what it is that happened, whatever events transpired, they would rather be in denial, or they would rather blame everybody else. All of those stem from delusion, because if you're looking with a clear conscience, or if you're looking from it from the perspective of what did I do wrong, and you check yourself, it's no way possible that you can't find a mistake on your end in circumstances and situations. For example, relationships, which is what we're talking about. If someone disrespects you and you put up with it, you can blame them for being disrespectful, but I also blame you for tolerating it and staying, or not checking them, or letting it slide for so long. Because you can't stop anybody from disrespecting you. Disrespectful people will be disrespectful, but how you receive that disrespect is important. Because I don't know about y'all, but you have some people, they've received the disrespect and they'd start getting insecure saying, am I the problem? Did I do something wrong? Which is okay. But if they figure out that they haven't done anything wrong and they don't deserve to be disrespected, then they can realize that the person that is being disrespectful is just a disrespectful person.
And you're right. I mean, a lot of people, I feel like they rather stay in denial and blame everybody else because it's easy to look in the mirror.
It's so easy.
Like, it's painful. It's painful to say I caused this, and it's easier to say they did it. They did this to me. But the truth is, like, when you stay stuck in blame, you also stay stuck in your pain. Like, you give away your power to change your life, so to say.
Right.
Because you're too busy making everybody else the villain. Accountability isn't about like beating yourself up. It ain't about that at all. It's about setting yourself free. Like you say, once you accept it, you can work on it and you could grow from it. That's where your happiness starts.
And you can afford yourself grace. Sorry.
Yeah.
You could afford yourself grace. Mm-hmm.
It's better to not pretend, but try to heal.
Okay, so the next question would be, can cheating ever be justified? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh.
I personally don't think so, but I guess something to question is what exactly is cheating?
Well, we spoke about what cheating was.
People. Like, we spoke about what certain types of cheating was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. I personally think, right, cheating is keeping your partner out of the loop of certain decisions and what you do as well. Right. So I would personally say that cheating is never really acceptable, but my idea of it is like, it's a very biased idea.
Okay.
But as a man, I personally don't really look at cheating on me as sleeping with someone else.
Well, it's deeper than that. And I could say that too.
It's deeper than that.
It is deeper than that.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, my girl will sleep with somebody that's cheating. Because I believe in double standards. I believe that that people exist on double standards. We've always existed on double standards. There will be people who disagree with me on this, but the reality of the situation from my view is that we've always, as a society, as human beings, always lived on double standards.
Like, work in a company that has rules that doesn't apply to the executives of that company.
Exactly.
It's like,
I feel like people cheat for different reasons: emotional neglect, feeling unappreciated, insecurity, lonely, a bunch of things. Right?
Okay.
But none of these reasons make the action right. Like, justification would mean the betrayal somehow becomes acceptable, like, because of the circumstances that they occurred. At its core, cheating is a violation of things like trust, respect, commitment.
Yes.
It's not just about crossing a boundary, it's about breaking a bond that was built with vulnerability and promises.
And trust. And trust. So, what my question to you guys is, if that is the case, that cheating can't really be justified, why is it that women will try to justify it and put the blame on you? Like, let's be honest here. I don't even have words for it. If I'm in a relationship with a woman and she cheats on me, but then blames me, you know what's the first thing I'm going to say to her? Why did you stay? If I was neglecting you, quote unquote, because that's not always the case. If I was neglecting you, I wasn't showing love and affection, I wasn't taking care of you, why did you stay so long? Why would you put up with me, quote unquote, if I was doing you so poorly, why would you accept the nonsense that I was giving you allegedly? Instead of leaving, why would you accept and then cheat and then open yourself up to someone else? How can you justify that? Why would you try to justify that? I know it's easy. It's easy to put the the blame on someone else, but why do you think it's okay? Why do you get so comfortable doing it? Is my question. Why is it that as a society, that's definitely a double standard? It's
my
no
thing
doubt
is,
about it.
I feel like, I think when someone cheats, man or woman, I mean, men do the same thing. We can't just say women do it. Men do the same thing.
No, you're right. Women and men.
They try to justify it by blaming the other person.
Right.
It's usually because they can't face the shame of their own actions. Like, it's easy to say, you pushed me to do this, than to admit. Especially like when emotions are high. People sometimes weaponize their pain to excuse behaviors.
Right.
They know something deep down was wrong. Now let's be real. Sometimes relationships do have real issues. Maybe there was neglect, disrespect, distance, or anything. But when those problems exist, cheating is a decision. Like,
exactly.
Not a forced one, on forced reaction. Instead of communicating or walking away, they real.
So
that's on them. Like,
so my question
on the person.
My question to you, Vince, is: is there a circumstance or a way that? Okay, how do I word this? If you were to cheat on your partner and you had the opportunity to justify it and you knew it would have worked, would you take the opportunity though?
The question?
If you had an opportunity to justify said cheating and you knew that justification was something that you could use, would you take the opportunity and use the justification for cheating? Or would you not use that opportunity?
So in regards to me, hi Anessa. In regards to me, I'd say no. Because if I made a choice to cheat, I would have to own it. Like, no matter how hurt, lonely, or frustrated I may.
Right.
Cheating would still be on me. Like, I feel like once you start looking for ways to justify hurting someone who trusts you,
right,
you're already losing yourself. Like, if I'm grown enough to make the decision, I have to be grown enough to carry the responsibility.
That's what being a man
I'd
is,
rather
right?
I'd rather admit I failed than to lie to myself or shift the blame.
Right.
To protect my ego. There's no circumstance, no pain, no argument, no rough season. Like, this gives me the right to betray what I promised to protect. And your word is bond.
Yes, it is. If you stay to your word, trust can be there. But if you don't stick to your word, trust is immediately broken. Right. Especially in the magnitude of cheating. Like,
I'd have to say it's the same thing for me. Like, I wouldn't take that chance. I wouldn't try to excuse myself out of it. Because I already made a commitment. In my mind, if I've already made a commitment, I already agree with you. Okay, like, this is what we are gonna do. This is what me and you have agreed to. And I've stepped beyond the bounds of that agreement.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to make excuses. I already did. It's over. Like, my approach would really just be, look, I did something bad. I understand I did something bad. Now we could fix it, or you could move on.
Okay, so with you saying that, it brings me this question. How often do you know people that actually go about relationships in 2025 in that way, with that level of maturity?
No, I don't expect anyone to. That's the thing. Like, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna say that is a. As you said, it's 2025. Like, like, I understand the question, but the answer is pretty obvious.
Like, if people were that mature, so many relationships wouldn't be standing right now. But relationships sticking because people are immature and they're so stagnant. I will stand on that mountain bro.
I wonder how much relationships just need to end right now. It's going on way too long. It just needs to stop.
Bro,
Most of them.
Most of the relationships. Okay. See, with that being said, I'm gonna ask this next question. Are open relationships just the loophole for avoiding accountability?
No. I might be the first to answer that. I don't think they always are. Right?
Okay.
I think for a lot of people, I'm not be racist, but there's a certain type of people that I think that what your question was, I think it very much lies as the answer as well. I think there's a certain type of people that only do it to avoid accountability.
Okay.
Now, me personally, I don't think that they are made to avoid accountability.
Okay.
Now, the reason being is because I'm someone who's okay with that as a one-sided person. As I said earlier, one-sided, double standards. I'm open, she's not. Right? The reason being is it's not even about accountability, because I will be completely accountable about what I do.
Right.
Because first and foremost, I don't believe in cheating.
Okay.
So as someone who doesn't believe in cheating, I would 100% be like, okay, look, this is what I did, or this is what I'm going to do even. Right? Like, there will be nothing I'm going to do behind her back, because at the end of the day, that's the person I come back to. That's the person that I'm going to answer to about relationship or emotional things, right? So that person will always be who they are. They'll always be the anchor to the relationship. But if there are certain things that need to be facilitated in the relationship, then I might go to outside sources. Right? Like, and in that situation, it's not like, okay, if I tell her like, hey, I'm gonna go do this with this person because it's something that will make things in our relationship easier that you don't have to deal with, right? And she says no. If she says no, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what accountability is. Accountability is doing right by your partner, doing right by the person that you agreed to do right by.
Right.
Right? So if she was like, no, I'm not comfortable with you doing that, then it's not going to happen. As simple as that. You know?
Right.
So in that way, I don't think it's a lack of accountability on everyone's part. I don't think it's always the lack of accountability. I think sometimes it's just facilitating what is difficult in a relationship at certain times. Like, and a very common situation I'll give on that is there's a lot of men that end up cheating when their wife is pregnant, for example, right? There's a lot of men who cheat when their wife is pregnant. Now, say that you are in this particular open relationship that I described, as I described it, right? And your partner is pregnant. Well, your partner is pregnant. So say you have physical needs.
Right.
You just go to someone else and you let her know, hey, look, I'm not gonna put any pressure on you to do anything. Like, look, I know that sounds wild, but that's just I'm just describing a situation. I'm not saying that I would do that situation. I'm just saying like that's a circumstance that a lot of people can
find
see as being they can find themselves in. And I'm just saying it's a better outcome than what regular or what often men have done in the past.
Right.
I'm just saying it's a better outcome for both people than what we've seen in the past by other men.
Okay, well, according to Anassa says open relationships shouldn't even be a thing if they are trying to pursue that one person from the get-go. Okay, in that circumstance, I agree 1000% that if you are aspiring to be in a polyamorous relationship or open relationship, you in problems. Like you're on a different timeline. But let's talk about those couples that have been married for 20 years, 30 years and what's not. They was married from like 19 and now they're in their 50s and they separate or they go in open relationships. According to what I've seen in research, and I probably could go on Google in a minute, those relationships don't work. Being in an open relationship doesn't work, especially when you open the door and then you try to close it. It just doesn't work ever. But why do people do it? It has to be some reason why people are doing it. It has to be some benefit or gain. And I think a benefit that people do is short term, but it is still a benefit. It's just for fulfillment, physical fulfillment.
I think it's more than that though. Like
Really?
for me, I feel like in a lot of cases, I think open relationships for many people, many are a way to enjoy the emotional security of having someone while still.
That's like he's slick with it. That ain't cool.
I'm telling you.
That was really trying to roll over.
Diabolical work right there. But
I
they
feel
go
like it's
low,
like
I
one-
go lower.
Like wanting the benefits of loyalty and support, like all of the benefits of a relationship,
Okay.
without the actual sacrifice of this feel loyalty bonds. Like instead of facing the hard parts of commitment, boredom, the struggles, all the fights, some people use the label avoid the accountability that comes with saying I'm yours and you're fully. Now, there are some people who generally believe open relationships for many reasons. Sure.
Whatever
I'd say the
reasons they
majority-
make.
They just, but I'm not sure. But I'd say like the majority use it safety. Majority in a way.
Safety.
Like
net.
true love. Yeah, like so you don't have to that level.
Safety net.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
no.
true love requires focus, commitment, demands putting boundaries around what you have, not watering it down so you could have other options.
But it
I feel
also,
like at the core,
I
I
think,
feel like at the core,
yeah.
at the core, it often reveals like a fear of missing out, like fear of feeling trapped.
But missing out on what though? You married. What are you
Exactly.
missing out on? Like what?
Exactly.
What? That's crazy.
That's why I say immaturity.
I think,
And yeah,
and I'm gonna say this in the best way I could depict it. I think the whole purpose of marriage, and this is also biblically backed, if you are married, there has to be a reason as to why you're married. Whatever reason you may decide. Some reasons are very stupid and poor, but people get married for whatever reasons they do. You have to get married for a deeper purpose or a deeper calling. And this is why it's important that you as an individual should know what your purpose is in life and find purpose. So then you could be married to someone or be in a relationship with someone to potentially be married to them so they can help you fulfill that purpose. And you'll have a better chance of staying together because y'all are going for a greater purpose, something bigger than y'all. If you're in a relationship just to have sex, to have children, when those children get older and they're no longer there, when you can't have sex anymore, or sex ain't hidden like it used to, you have no other reason to be in a relationship. And then the arguments that you do have, you're already subconsciously thinking, why the hell am I in a relationship if I don't need?
Like, why are you even with this person?
You see how you said that? Why are you with that person? And it ain't because of love. If love was the only reason why people would be in relationships, the minute you're not in love anymore, the relationship over.
Like I agree. Marriage isn't just about love or feelings. Like those come and go. Feelings, it clouds. It's about building something bigger than yourself. Calling to serve, to protect.
But see, my personal view is like, okay, I will agree with you when you said like people who've been married for like 20, 50 years, whatever it is, I don't know, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, and they start an open relationship and then they kind of lose sight of whatever, then they didn't have a true purpose. I agree with that. But I don't think the way that I described it means that you don't have a higher purpose for the relationship that you're in,
Right.
Because love, children, and building something bigger than yourself, that doesn't mean that you have to completely sort of close, you completely have to be in the exact same way that everyone expects you to be in. Now I'm saying like religiously, if we're gonna go on the religious aspect of it, open relationships, a no from the get go, right? Like I don't even think that makes sense religiously. But I mean, unless we going way back when, if we talking about like kings and then we talking about King Solomon and stuff, 300 concubines, that's something different.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Please work.
Okay. Just to put a pause in it for a second, Anessa says, when it comes to marriage, some people were forced, so they might not have a choice. So talk about the ones that have a choice. So start over. Okay, we've been talking about arranged marriages. That's a completely other topic, and I don't think we have any jurisdiction to talk on that because those arranged marriages is for something bigger than
basically for survival.
That's a family
thing. There's still certain places that have arranged marriage standard. Now,
for sure,
as someone who's from India, right? Mm-hmm. I understand the difference between like and I think a lot of people in the West don't really understand the difference between arranged marriage and forced marriage, right?
Right.
Forced marriage is when you're forced to marry someone. It's like, okay, like we pick this person, you have to marry this person. Yeah. That's it. That's all. You can't argue against that, right?
That's wild.
Arranged marriage is when your parents pick someone who they think will fit well with you in marriage, right? That doesn't mean you have to accept exactly who that person is. You don't have to accept marrying that person. They just pick the person, and you get to say whether you accept marrying that person or not, right?
Okay.
Now, if you're in an arranged marriage, this is an opinion. This is a personal opinion that I have formulated just from my view of seeing a lot of arranged marriages. I feel like arranged marriages are more likely to last than people who married each other just because they love each other. That's just a personal view.
No, I low-key agree in some aspects.
Yeah. My reason being, right, from just empirical data or anecdotal data, I should say, right, is because when you're in an arranged marriage, a lot of people learn to love each other. They learn to love.
They learn to.
They learn to love. They learn to grow. They learn to be with someone. Whereas when you love someone, you're like, oh, I really love this person. Let me go marry them, right? All of a sudden, natural changes in that person happen. They get older. They want to be a different person. They go through different changes in their life. And you know what happens? They change. And once they change, this person's going to be like, oh, well, you changed.
Of course
you weren't the person that I married. And stuff. And it's like, of course they're not. That's how people work. So like people who marry out of love, especially when they don't understand what really is love towards a certain person, they will fall into that exact hole time and time again. That's why I think living in, say, for example, in North America, where the divorce rate is 50%, we can see why that scenario has been created.
Right.
Essentially put, because a lot of people are marrying, but as you said earlier, the wrong reasons.
Okay, wait. So we have some chat action here. We see Legal Kills says, see, in order for a marriage to work, there has to be a common goal that you're working towards in the long run together and not just short-term goals, because once those are met, it will eventually fail, which is what I did say. There has to be a bigger call-in. If your reason to get married was to have sex and have kids, after 18 years, the kids are now adults. You don't have kids anymore. Now what?
If you just leave, I think that's
some more kids.
Have some more kids? Okay, buddy. Okay, Vince.
That was never ending. Never ending.
Yeah.
They call it like either a great divorce or soft divorce. But basically,
I mean, like separation?
They was staying together strictly for the kids, but they couldn't stand the sight of each other.
That happens quite a lot.
They just generally fell out of love with each other.
I see, and this is my issue, because with Anessa, she said, "BS, no force to stay, so that's no damn love." The question that I have for people in the chat is, what is love? Because as far as I'm concerned, love is sacrifice, and love is giving up a part of yourself. If I'm married to someone and I know that I have to do certain things, I'm obligated legally to do something, me showing that through action is love. Because I'm sure you say this all the time. If you see a girl or a dude doing some crazy stuff with a partner that they know that you could see their partner don't deserve, the first thing you say is, boy, you really love that person. Of course you love that person. Right. You making a decision to do something that everybody else in society is going to say, that's a dumb idea, but you still do it. Why? Because you love. It's a choice. You choosing to be by that person. You choosing it. And for whatever reason you may have, hopefully it's a greater good. It's a greater calling. If you choosing to be by that person because you just feel like doing that, you messing your brain right up. Like you literally cooking yourself. But if you staying because you want to keep your family together for the kids, which is very common, you want to keep the family together for the kids to have a stable, like, broad upbringing, that's positive. If you staying because you want to keep your marriage and keep your sacraments to God, that's also positive, really good. But if you staying because you want to stay, no, or better yet, if you staying because a person is cheating on you and you don't want to leave, I blame everything that comes after on you. If your partner cheats on you and you stay, I blame you. Really, I blame you, because there's many opportunities for you to leave. You do not have to accept someone cheating on you. You do not have to stay in a relationship with someone that cheats on you. If you choose to stay and you choose to love them, you have made your choice. And if you want to take that disrespect, you want to take that is on you as an individual, no one else but you. And that's the thing what people do all the time. They stay, and this is where I get into the respect thing. You guys know I'm big on respect. You'd rather disrespect 100%. Yourself to stay in a relationship with someone because you'd rather not be by yourself. And what's wrong with being by yourself? What do you have to fix within yourself so you could be comfortable in your own skin? I'm comfortable within my own skin, which is why I'm okay being single. I can be in a relationship, but I'm also okay being by myself. Some people can't be by themselves, which is why they'll stay in a terrible relationship. And I wouldn't. Skill issue. Just kidding. But the reality is you don't have to stay. But a lot of people do stay.
A lot of people do. I don't know why. Like, nobody's forcing you to stay in that relationship. Just leave if you're unhappy.
I think there's a lot of
crazy concept.
I think leaving ain't as easy as you would think, scenarios that cause that, yeah.
Why would you stay? If you're unhappy and you feel like you're not going to get happier, leave.
Well, a lot of people hold on to the hope that it's going to get better.
See?
That's delusional.
Yeah.
That's delusional.
That is delusional. But
no like marriage gets better with time. No marriage. Not very often at least.
No I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no.
I would say so.
Okay, I'll change my statement. No marriage gets better with time unless there's work being done. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen on its own. Yeah,
and for something to improve, there has to be something that triggers that improvement or that change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Everybody can agree on that. But for relationships to progress or improve, there has to be work being done. All right, Legal Kill says, man oftentimes feel obligated to these females, to be honest. We are naturally fixers. We always try to fix things. Yes, that's a very valid point and a very valid fact. However, there are also some people that are problematic, and there are also some people that are not fixable, and it's not in your power or your authority to fix. If you know someone is traumatized, instead of trying to fix them or being a therapist, why not you just recommend them go to therapy?
Yeah. I think either go to therapy or, like, I mean, again, like, you're not the keeper of every single person. So sometimes you just gotta let things be. And if that's the type of person that they are, and you've seen them over time, especially in a relationship or in a marriage, you've seen them behave the same way over time.
I agree with you.
You weren't born to fix it. You weren't born to fix what that person.
But y'all ever realize? Not this ain't entirely on genders, right?
No.
But a woman could come to a man and tell him, "Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. I want you to change." And a man is more open to change. This is a female. Like some of them be so caught up in themselves that they don't realize, hey, maybe if both make changes, both ends, but just him making a change, things would be quote unquote better. I never realized that before.
Oh, okay, say it again. I tend to agree.
That basically the gist of everything is that men are more open changing their behaviors and changing who they quote unquote are.
I think like I have to agree that men are more open to it, but something I have learned over time, and especially at the age that I am at right now, is that there are a lot of men. Like there's the four of us in this podcast right now, right? The four of us, we have very similar mindsets to the duties that are imposed upon men.
Correct.
Right? I don't believe that there are as many men as we think out there who behave or even intellectually think about these issues in the same way as we do. Just simply put, right?
I can't
because no, I think there's a lot of them because for us here, it's very simple. Like, okay, men are more open to fixing things. Yes, all of us here are more open to fixing things, but there's a lot of people who just don't think. They're like, okay, I'm not the problem. That person said that's a problem, but they're the problem, and that's it. They don't want to fix anything after that.
Dismissive. If I meet someone, if I'm in a relationship with someone that's dismissive and have no point acknowledge that they have also contributed to the problem, that's a very telling sign that they may very well be the problem. That's my opinion. But if I'm in a relationship with that person, I see that dismissive, I'm also going to become dismissive, and the relationship is going to go downhill from there, and we may just break up after. Quite frankly, in marriage, that's different.
That's a situation in which everybody's becoming dismissive.
Yeah. In marriage, that's different, because in marriage, you really are going to sit there and think to yourself, listen, we married, we already have a house together, we already have these things together, we may as well just fix it. Like, come on, stop being crazy, stop freaking yourself out, let's talk it out. We may as well, we got rings on our finger, we got bills to pay, we got things to do, we got bigger things to deal with. Like, let's talk it out, right? I can agree.
But a lot of those things fall at the root of the problem, which is communication for a lot of people nowadays. A lot of people can't communicate.
Well, to that regard, if people can't communicate, it comes from a different issue, which is a problem that if you can't communicate as an individual, it's not your job or your partner's job, rather. It's not your partner's job to get you to communicate, which is why I initially used the word that Anessa didn't really like, but fix. I can't change that person. I can't force them to change. I can only be me as an individual and them an individual. If I'm whole and I'm communicating and I'm ready to go forward and my partner is not communicating, we can't have a functional relationship.
Wait. So why? Sorry. I don't mean to cut you up all the way, but just to ask, why is the word fix not seen as correct in this situation?
I think in her regard, she says that we aren't machines, so we can't be fixed. I can understand where she's coming from. However, I still believe it's practicable to use the word fixed, because there's issues with people that need to be resolved. Everybody has trauma. Trauma needs to be dealt with. Otherwise, it's going to linger and it gets worse, and it seeps into your relationships. That's why I was comfortable using fix, because you have to sort yourself out in order for you to function as a not regular, because regular is not very even common anymore.
No,
but a decent human being.
From, though.
I do. I'm not going to deny that. But in the regard that I was using it, I'm using it because people are broken. People are traumatized.
I feel like love isn't supposed to be about fixing somebody like they're broken or defective.
It isn't.
Like,
it isn't.
We're not machines that just need a new part. We're people with stories, with histories that shaped us, basically. Real love isn't trying to repair someone. It's choosing to walk with them, to understand them, to grow with them.
Which is true.
It's not saying you're broken, I need to fix you. It's saying you're human. Controlling your healing. Love gives us basically space for growth, but it doesn't demand perfection. It's not about changing who a person is. It's about becoming a safe place for them to change pace. Honestly, a relationship built on trying to fix somebody will eventually feel pressure instead of love.
It's not. I would go a step further and say it's not even love. That's just a project. And then once that person
because I feel like there's a lot of people that just want projects.
People want projects, and this is why a lot of people go for those people that are traumatized and broken. I myself have been on both sides of the spectrum. I will be honest. I have been a person that was traumatized or broken. And I've also been a person that wanted to help someone. And in both regards, it was damaging to the person on both ends. Being the person that trying to heal and a person trying to help someone heal, it hurts. Both aspects. The relationship doesn't get better because life is already hard as it is. And also, I'm going to go read over what Legal Kill said.
I mean, I agree with y'all when y'all say a lot of people like looking for projects.
People want projects. It's no question about it. No doubt. 100%.
They ain't looking for a healthy relationship project. They want someone they can fix.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but I think it's mostly women that want projects more than men.
I feel like love isn't about seeing someone as a project. It's about seeing them as your partner.
If you see someone as a project, that's not love. Yeah. That's literally like choose them to be a project. But let's get back to what Legal Kill said. It says here, also one of the reasons why relationships fail, either party listens to friends and make friends involved too much in their private matters, and they tend to wrongfully influence the person. Next, greed is a major problem in these relationships as well. Media makes women feel like if they man don't buy them a 2020 BMW, they don't love him. Okay, with that being said, 2028. With that being said, that leads me to the next question. How does social media affect temptation and cheating today? Boy, listen. The best way to depict this is the grass green on the other side, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It typically is. I think that's a safe one.
It's a safe assumption.
Let me go first with this one.
Right.
Because I always feel like social media was a big influence on it. Social media has completely changed loyalty. Because before social media, temptation was limited to your immediate.
Correct.
Like people you know at work, like church and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like temptation, basically sitting in your pocket 24/7. Like you have instant access to like anybody you want. You know,
right?
You could scroll through people's lives and admire it, although what you admire may not be is all without like leaving your comfort space.
You know.
So,
with that being said, when you said that you have unlimited access, let me tell you how crazy it is. You go on social media and you have that quote unquote unlimited access, but all you have is unlimited potential access. You don't have real access to these people.
Right.
You don't. If you could send 10,000 messages to everybody on Facebook and not everybody's gonna reply. So on both aspects, you have women that believe they have access to every man on the planet, right?
When they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, that's the illusion of choice.
That's delusion. Yeah. But on men's aspect, they believe that every woman that they message is gonna reply, which is also delusional. It's so crazy.
That's even more delusional.
That's even more delusional. Like you think you're that.
I'll be honest,
you thought you're that guy 0.01%. You think you're that 0.01% where if I send you a message like I'm the president, you think I'm gonna message me, but oh my gosh, the president is messaging me out of Get on, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
On red.
Red? Some of them don't even open up the chat. Some girls be that bossy. They be like, I'm not even going to grace them with my presence of opening the chat, bro. Like, it is that serious. Okay, so we have some action in the chat. After making mistakes, you realize you are or before?
Well, I mean, I don't know where that question's coming from, but
I don't know where it's coming from either.
Hopefully
she could clarify.
I think more than likely you would understand the mistake beforehand.
Okay, she said music contribute to that a lot too. Yeah. So what I realized, and this is why I don't listen to hip and hop, hip and hop,
Hip and
hip hop,
hip and hop.
hip and hop. That's how you know I like. I don't listen to hip hop. I stopped listening to R&B. I used to be a big fan of The Weeknd. I used to listen to a lot of Drake. I used to listen to Big Sean. I used to listen to Lil Baby, Kodak Black, all these artists. I used to listen to all these people, and I also used to listen to soca and dancehall. I still have a little bit on my phone, but I don't play them that much because I realized the things that they were saying is very uprooting what I already feel in myself. I like to be to myself. I like to be calm, cool, collected. Being and listening to certain music do build certain emotions. Like you ever listen to a hype song and you like start bopping, you're like, yeah, but you gotta go start doing stuff. Like certain songs you listen to will bring that emotion. So I'm sure there's some songs that out there. If you go in the club and you hear a certain song, girls will start shaking. You know what I'm saying? They start shaking the cake. Right. And as I do
I'm
it,
lying. Nothing could separate me from soca.
So
That's what I can tell you.
So you listen to that music, you respond to that music, like your body responds. Even Junkano, but Junkano, you hear that go skin drum do, you can stop up and you can start getting some energy, right? You listen to certain energies, you consume certain content, listen to certain things, you are 100% going to be in a situation. You gonna feel the urge. Even myself, bro. Like I remember listening to who was it? I think it was Future once or twice, and he would be talking about like lean and like taking like perk. Yeah, he talked about hella drugs, Future. Right? The Weeknd too spoke about taking all type of drugs. And when I used to listen, going numb, I'd be like, you know, that sound like
a good time.
Yeah. even Travis Scott, like a song says smoke some, room, not even highest in the room, smoke some, drink some, pop one. Like, come on, bro. Say she. Let me start looking at some of the songs, but like some of the things that just the name, the title, is insane, and that's why I don't listen to certain things.
Well, like this is something that people have known for a long time. Actually, if you look at like all the cultures. Like cultures from like hundreds of years ago, there was a lot of cultures that didn't allow people to really produce music. Right. And this was like what we are talking about right now was exactly the reason why. Because it influences the youth to do things that they, out of better judgment, should just not do.
For sure.
Like, and that became very common. Even back in those, this is a lifetime problem for humans. We are not the first humans having this problem.
No, you're right. It's a circle of life. I spoke about this. But I'm gonna make reference to one song that The Weeknd wrote, and the song name is "Die for You." The song literally says "Die for You," and the lyrics talk about some stuff that is really like insufferable for a relationship. I'm gonna read some of it. You hate that you want me. Hate it when you cry. You're scared to be lonely, especially in the night. I'm scared that I'll miss you. Happens every time. I don't want this feeling. I can't afford love. I try to find a reason to pull us apart. It ain't working because you're perfect, and I know that you're worth it. I can't walk away. Like, you know,
that's a little too much.
This is why I stopped listening to the
I haven't listened to that song in so long. I even forgot those lyrics.
But I'm gonna read some more. You ready for it? I'm gonna read some more. Just listen.
Man. Oh man.
And it makes you feel alone. Just know that I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah, the distance and the time between us, it'll never change my mind. Cause baby, I would die for you.
Sound like a nice song.
Hey yo. So I'm gonna speak from me. My core, right up until the last two albums, I knew all the songs, all the albums. Heaven or Las Vegas. I used to love Heaven or Las Vegas until I actually started listening to what the hell I was listening to. Like, what? All the songs is why
Like real?
No, but like seriously, listening to some songs will really alter your brain chemistry the more you listen to it.
So what happened in Las Vegas, bro? Because I'll be honest, I don't really listen to Weekend. Like, okay, here's the thing. I think music is very powerful, right?
It is.
That's why one of my major, and I know like the people on this call, y'all have heard me talk about it before. J. Cole is one of my top artists.
Right.
J. Cole is one of my top artists because like a lot of things that he says, a lot of the like what he's rapping about, it's coming from a point of alignment that I'm already at. You know, like
right.
I'm already aligned not only with. Now, I'm not saying like completely with his beliefs, but certain beliefs and certain perspectives of life that he's presenting as music, I've already been aligned with before in my life.
Right. So it makes sense why you can listen to him, right?
Exactly. It makes sense, and it gives me a reason to listen to it because I'm like, okay, I kind of understand where he's coming from when certain things are being said.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying you should always listen to the same people or you should listen to people who just say the things you already know.
Right.
I'm just saying he provides another perspective even from the things that I understand. A new perspective that even I don't have.
Okay. And I agree with that. I think I'm gonna
skip out on this topic because my music.
Yeah. We can talk about you, Bucko. You good?
That's so good.
Yeah, he would pull out a whole lot of type of why. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about Heaven or Las Vegas, and I'm gonna talk about one other song that is involved with the topic. But from the first verse of Heaven or Las Vegas, it says, "I'm paying for all my father's sins, so I'm gonna thank him for you. I'm gonna thank him for you. My serotonin's gone a while ago. Girl, it's gone because of you. It's been gone because of you. They say they want heaven. They say they want God. I say I got heaven, but I say I am God." Like, boy, come on.
Oh no. Okay. No, see. There's lines we don't cross.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? There might be situations where I might call myself king. I don't call myself
but not
God.
Now we're gonna go to the next song that is involved with the talking. Heartless. Listening to Heartless, I can tell you 100%. Anytime I listen to that song, that is just boring. Like, bro, I don't need no girl. You know what the song says? Never need a. I'm what a need. I'm just trying to find the one that can fix me. I've been dodging death in the 6-speed. Amphetamine got my stomach feeling sickly. That's the first verse.
Oh no.
The chorus? Why? Because I'm heartless and I'm back to my ways because I'm heartless. All this money and this pain got me heartless. Low life for life because I'm heartless. Said I'm heartless, trying to be a better man, but I'm heartless. Never be a wedding plan for the heartless. Low life for life because I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Listening to stuff like that, you really think you want to get married after you hear a song like that?
No, man.
And I'll be honest, that song fire. That song fire. I ain't gonna be. Then I say no, man. That song ain't fire. That song was heat. That was at the top of my playlist. No question.
My boy said at a certain point. No more.
At a certain point, no more. Because I'm like, what?
Like, what is you talking about?
Like, what is you mean? What do you mean? It'll never be a wedding. What do you mean? It's never gonna be a wedding plan for the heartless low. What do you mean low life for life? You plan on staying down there forever? Hell nah, bro.
Hell no. Like the boys don't co-sign on that. The boys don't co-sign on that.
Oh, exactly what I'm saying. So, like, social media, music, it is affecting people's relationships heavy. You got one side for the females, you got everybody talking about dog niggas, take all their money, send them, let them kick rocks. You got these other ones talking about shooting dudes up, cheating, being heartless.
No. But I know this might be a very elementary position or question to move on to, right? But what do you all think about gold digging? Because I personally believe I have a very unique perspective.
Okay.
So I just want to hear what your perspectives are first.
Okay, I would like to define gold digging. I would think gold digging is defined as trying to get married to a person or be as close to a person as you possibly can for materialistic things, and not just materialistic, for monetary and materialistic things. Because you could get married or be in a relationship for security, right? And people would consider that gold digging. I don't, because if I had a daughter and she wanted to get married, I would very much tell her, you should get married to someone that is stable and secure and will provide that security. A stable job brings a stable income, right? That's not gold digging. That's called being sensible. But what I call gold digging for sure is you want me to always swipe cards, not for dates, but you're always pushing me to swipe my card. You're always pushing for me to make purchases. You're always pushing to try and control the finances and make poor financial decisions. You are a gold digger. If it's always about tangible, like this green, you're a gold digger. If it's only about this, we always talking about this and nothing else, no emotional circumstance situation, gold digger. To the core.
So for me, I feel like at its core, it's like when someone basically values what you have more than who you are. Like it's about seeing a person as a resource, not just a relationship. Yeah, like true love supposed to be about building with someone, supporting each other,
right?
Ups and downs,
right?
But when someone main focuses on your bank, your status, and like what you could provide financially,
exactly,
turns a relationship into a transaction.
See,
that happens a lot too.
And I agree. There's nothing wrong with wanting security, wanting a partner that's responsible, who's working toward a future, who can provide stability.
Right.
The huge difference between valuing a partner's ambition versus seeing a partner as a walking ATM. Like it's a huge difference between those two.
I have to agree with that. I think that's kind of what I was going for, right? Because I personally don't find the regular things women do as gold digging. I feel like the term gold digger has become very worn out for younger men. Younger men will literally start talking about, oh, all she wants me for is my money. But like, bro, you making like 20K.
Like what money?
What money? Like she don't want you for the money, bro. Like touch me. If she wanted money, she somewhere else.
Like you a buster, bro. You ain't even all of that for real, and you ran yo.
And I'm not saying that to say there aren't men who don't make a lot of money, but their girl wants a lot of money from them. I think that's a whole different scenario and issue. I don't think that's specifically just a gold digging issue. I don't think that's a problem with most women. In fact, I personally don't even think that it's an issue that most women look for men who have more money, because that's a natural instinct.
That's security.
Like that's security. In the same sense, because okay, what was security back in the old days? Back in the old days, the security was this boy strong, he big.
And like if somebody feed me and protect me,
he could kill you, right? That's what security in the old days was. Security in today's day and age is, can he feed me and keep me in a house? Right?
Exactly. That's what security is.
So I think women go for security, and in the same light, we can't say that men don't go for beauty, right?
Yeah, like, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Like just in a basic sense, I'm saying obviously there's a lot of other things that men go for, but in a basic sense, all of us look for beauty.
Expensive thoughts.
Right? Like,
right.
If you can't like her physically, you're not there mentally either. That's just true.
Yeah. All facts, no cap. Okay.
So you can't really blame women for quote unquote being gold diggers if they just want security. Now, if they specifically are reducing your relationship to only being her wanting money from you, then we can go into conversation if she's a gold digger, right?
But I want you to.
She only wants money, and she's not willing to give you any emotions to back that up.
Can it also be mentioned that in order for her to get to that point, especially if it didn't start off like that, if all she comes to you for is finances, can it also be made mention that you only provide finances to problems instead of talking it out? Like, let's be realistic here. A lot of men are so goal oriented that they would put their families and things on the back burner for their careers,
For the
their
personal
goals, for the
goals.
money. Yeah, for their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the only thing they do. They go to work, they make money, they come back home, they don't even talk to their wife or whatever. They just go sleep. Like they dead. And their one sole purpose is to go make money. What
Yeah, no,
else?
that's 100% true.
Yeah, if that's all you doing, that's all she's gonna get from you. But for cases right off the rip, you could tell really right off the rip if someone is a gold digger or not based on the conversation topics, or if y'all even have conversations. For God's sake, if y'all don't even talk, gold digger. Because what you in my chat for? You don't want any sex. Y'all don't even talk for real. Y'all don't talk about sex. You know me trying to. Or if she just trying to get you in bed, and then she always talking about money after, gold digger. I mean,
That's
she low key a bop, but hey, who am I to judge? I ain't gonna knock your hustle, but that's a hustle right
saying
there.
that's a transaction right there.
Okay, yeah.
Like if a girl start acting like a prostitute, maybe it's time to realize she might be one.
Yeah, you know that's really funny. I've said that after like my last relationship. I said, and I thought originally for like a long time, I thought that people that fell from grace were graceful, when in reality, it was just contrary to the truth. People aren't graceful. Humans are humans. We are not beautiful, elegant angels like people portray, man or woman. I don't care. We are human beings and we are diabolical to our core. Regardless of what anybody tells me, I'm gonna stick on that because anybody is liable to do anything. You know how crash outs. You know how serious it is for someone to crash out and do something stupid, but anybody could crash out. That tells me enough that anybody could crash out, and just like that, anybody could cheat, and just like that, anybody could be toxic. Anybody could turn out to be that just by choice. So with that being said, like, come on. That's just human nature. We chaotic. We stupid. We listen. Rock ass.
Yeah, some of us. Common sense ain't that common.
No. At certain points, like when you start
what's
going
your
past
view on the male gold diggers? They have male gold diggers. Like niggas who's my French. Who is one live or they're female.
You mean the niggas that homeless and they stay with their girlfriend and the girlfriend
but it's not just that. Like the
crazy thing is, some of them ain't even homeless.
They really
ain't
homeless.
Some of them got their own apartment. They living good, but they feed off of women to finance their lifestyle.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like one like me, I never really like. I don't females either do is like lunch every once in a while. I don't do that. Like I feel like that's my job. I should be doing that for you.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little gift every once. I can be the one doing the spoiling. Because
right.
At the end of the day,
that's what you there for.
I wear the pants in a relationship. Yeah. I can come deal with problems. At the end of the day, that's as a man, I gotta deal with it. But there's some dudes that find it I ain't gonna worry about driving to work tomorrow because I could always borrow my girl car.
Yeah.
My girl car for it.
Insane, by the way.
I gotta worry about where the next plate of food coming from because I could always go get some money from my girl or
using your girl as a crutch is insane work.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's many dudes that do that.
I have a question for you now because I've been in a relationship where I would have accepted certain things from my girlfriend, now ex. Of course, you guys know we used to stay in our apartment together, and I didn't want to stay, but she pretty much forced me to stay. Or I don't want to put the blame on her, but like she put me in ultimatum circumstances, and I didn't want to leave, so I stayed, and I ended up staying in that apartment. Right. With that being said, would that be considered gold digger behavior if I'm in the relationship and I'm staying by her and I'm accepting certain things from her because she's saying if I don't accept it, it's going to be a problem?
No, because I think the
difference comes from you wanting to do that.
It's dudes out there that, like, how if you wanted something, even when you stayed in that apartment, you wanted something. For instance, your car.
Right.
Many of them wouldn't have buy no car. They would all, my girl got a car, so I ain't gonna worry about that. You know, I can just drop off to work and I go.
Ride all the gas out of the car.
Exactly. Some dudes even be picking up other girls in their female car.
Diabolical work.
It shouldn't be working like that.
It really shouldn't. But it tells on the self-respect as well, though. If you don't respect yourself, anything is liable to happen to you, and you're willing to tolerate anything. And that's one of the things that you're willing to tolerate. Someone literally using you for using you for your assets. I think the best way to counter a gold digger is to literally just have self-respect.
Well,
and yes, legal kills.
Sometimes...
Legal kills. 100% people out there living just like that. Men are living in their girlfriend's house, don't have a job, smoking dope, smoking cigarette, barefoot, rubbing heels together, and her bed she is paid for, and she going to work hard, sometimes going overtime. And it ain't in no poor jobs. I know attorneys. I know people who in high positions of power. They boyfriend ain't got no job, and they ain't trying to get no job. It is that bad, bro. It is that bad.
I wanna pose a different way to this, right?
Okay.
Now what we're talking about is male gold diggership, right?
Male gold diggers.
Male gold diggers is very easy to comment on. It's very easy to comment on because all of us know the exact signs. We know exactly what's going on. But there's the thing. Female gold diggers is harder, bro. It's harder for certain men to understand that she's only with you for the money. Now there's common situations where it'll be very obvious, right? Like there's very obvious situations where it'll be like, oh yeah, but she only there for the money. Like
it is literally straight. You could tell.
Like, yeah, we could tell that's only for the money. But there's certain times where she will be in a complete relationship. She doing everything, but she's only going for that gold, right? Like she'll practically fake everything just to go for that gold, right? Now, those situations become difficult, and so I think in those situations, it's not self-respect will not exactly pull you out of it, because it's not self-respect that's the problem. It's distinction.
Or discernment, maybe?
Discernment and distinction of the behavior will make you understand that, okay, maybe over there she really wasn't making sense. Like she really was just doing that to get my money out of me.
Honestly.
Right? I mean, because here's the thing. Y'all might think I'm being too specific or too serious, but here's the thing. Remember, there's gals who baby trap. Baby trapping is a real thing.
Baby trapping is a whole strategy.
And that strategy being a real thing, think about it. That is a very tough strategy. Think about women who actually go through childbirth. Childbirth is a very difficult and long and arduous process. So if our risky, arduous, long process, you're telling me there's women who are willing to go through all of that just to be gold diggers? And there's not women who will fake a relationship? Stop playing.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, I do believe it. Yeah, they do.
Like there's women who's willing to birth another human into the world to take your money from you.
They ain't even care about the kid, bro. They just want to get them money.
You're telling me there might not be women who will just fake a simple relationship or a simple marriage in comparison just to take your money from you?
Bro. Yeah, you ain't buying that. They could sell, but you ain't buying it.
That's what I thought.
I think going back to what Vincent would have said about male gold diggers, I've thought about it. I'll be dead honest. We listen, but we don't judge. Y'all can judge me. Heck, I don't care. At one point, I used to think about girls and like what jobs they're working. I'm like, okay, what would life be like if I were to lose my job for a while? How would she react? And this is now, I know it isn't gold digging. It's just me thinking from a sensible standpoint. What would she do? If my girl I'm in a relationship with, we're both working, and I paying all the bills, and then she's stacking the money and saving it, hopefully not wasting the money. If we fall on hard times and I lose my job for like few months, or I get laid off or whatever, and before I get a job, she can handle stuff. That's good. But am I a gold digger for wanting that? Am I a gold digger for also wanting security in my partner?
All right, so first you was working, and then you lose your job, and now you're dependent on us. So
no, but I'm thinking about that. I'm not even in that relationship. I'm just considering that. I'm considering where they work. I'm saying, but if they work at Wendy's, I may not get in a relationship with them because I can't even, you know what I'm saying? If I used to lose my job, you know, nothing happening.
Just in case type of
yes. Thing. That's why I said for security's sake, am I a gold digger for also wanting security?
I wouldn't call you a gold digger per se, but because at the end of the day, you are working, right?
Okay.
Thinking about what if, like a what if scenario. This is not a guarantee that, you can leave your job as soon as you get in a relationship. This is a what if, like, if I get in this relationship and stuff goes haywire, can this person support me? And that falls under the stability.
Okay.
That doesn't fall under the gold digger because at the end of the day, you're not looking at the person and be like, oh, this person has this person has that. At the end of the day, you live off her and I be solid. No, you're only thinking about something temporary. Like,
right, because I'm planning on
until I get on my feet.
Unemployed, but life boring, but you think I won't just be home sitting up rubbing my foot together? Hell no, bro. You know what into all of that? Like what? Just sitting there letting my wife pay up all the bills? No. Like what?
It doesn't work like that.
It don't work like that.
Be like, okay, so she works at Wendy's, but that doesn't mean to limit her to only Wendy's because she could be working at Wendy's today. Tomorrow she could be the CEO of another country.
That's very true.
Company or something.
That's not something that I'm not gonna deny that.
That's why when it comes to me, I don't really look at job per se.
Okay.
But I look at your goals. What do you want out of life? Now, if I go to you and I ask you what your short-term goals and your long-term goals, can't give me a solid response.
Give me one moment. I have to just pick up a call. I'll be back soon.
All right, cool.
I can look at that and I can be like, maybe you ain't the right one for me until you start talking sense.
Right.
But if you working at Wendy's and you like, okay, so I working out here and I also in school trying to.
No, I could work with that. The potential is there. The potential there. I won't deny that. But I am still looking for some type of blueprint to fit in with my blueprint for us to build a life together. If you ain't got nothing going on, you could be what's the word? You're not gonna be an asset, you're gonna be a liability to me. Not to talk about it like that, but I'm taking you on into my life and being responsible for you. There has to be some type of connection.
The thing is, that's the difference between that's the difference between looking for something long term versus looking for something short term. Because if you're looking for something short term, all those different factors aren't really going to
matter.
Come to mind. They ain't gonna matter because at the end of the day, you can say this ain't even the person that I look forward to having a future with. So so you can be like, I just with them for the time being, the past time. So they could work the Wendy's all they want, but you looking for something long term, you can be like, how are we going to build quote unquote reliable future?
Right.
If you only bring in 10 grand a year and 15 grand a year, if that. So I know it probably ain't that low, but
right. You know. I think we could turn this topic to an even deeper question. Does that imbalance increase the possibility of cheating?
I feel like cheating is more of a that's more of a I think it wouldn't, because that's more of a what morals and respect you have for yourself type of
right
thing. Like if you don't have the right set of morals, then you can see nothing wrong with cheating. You can like, okay, if I cheat, then I cheat. But if you have the right set of morals, despite whatever job or whatever she may do, professionally or unprofessionally, you'd be like, respect I have for myself, I will not cheat because that's just who I am for myself.
Right. That ain't you. That ain't for you to do because that is not you. That ain't your character. So I believe that in a similar fashion, your status or your value does not warrant cheating, because the whole purpose of you being in a relationship with someone is because you want to be around them and because you want them in your life. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if we being real, a lot of dudes, money wise, a lot of people that's high up there when it comes to money, they're the ones are more open to cheating because they know they are significant other in a place that, I'm not saying it's right, but they know that their significant other is in a place where they can look at you, how much money you bringing in, and who you are as a person.
Right.
And they can be like, they just doing what they want to do. They living their life happy, living my life happy. You know, they can be more open to staying. But whereas people of the lower income bracket, they wouldn't necessarily do it because they know at the end of the day, their significant other could find another person like them, find potentially someone better than them. You know?
Okay, well,
so it's not worth it.
I understand. I agree. I do, because really, it is not worth it in the long run. Cheating in general isn't worth it in the long run.
Right.
So I have a question for the chat for our viewers. The question is flirting without physical contact still cheating? Yes or no? You could just let us know in the comments. In the meantime, Vince, we're gonna also speak about, is it worse to cheat out of boredom or revenge? Boy, oh boy. Which one is worse, out of boredom or out of revenge? I mean, both is bad. Like, pick your poison, I guess. Which would you rather?
Okay, so for me, I don't believe. Maybe in the past I used to believe in revenge, but I feel like only revenge that should be taken is God's revenge. Like God would take the revenge. Like He said, leave it up to Him. But in depth, both are betrayals. But cheating out of revenge, I feel like it's worse. Because when you cheat out of boredom, it shows immaturity and like selflessness and stuff like that.
Okay.
Lack of gratitude for what you already have. It's like chasing excitement, but basically you're too lazy or unwilling to water your own garden. When you cheat out of revenge, it's like intentional pain. Revenge cheating says
it speaks a lot about your character.
You hurt me.
Correct.
Not about just satisfying yourself. It's about wounding somebody once claimed to love.
That's diabolical work right now.
We really look at it. Cheating out of boredom is basically selfish, whereas revenge cheating is malicious.
It is intentional.
Both are wrong. Yeah, both are wrong, but revenge cheating cuts deeper because it's premeditated.
Right.
It's like fueled by bitterness, if that makes sense. Not just weakness. And the crazy thing is, revenge cheating doesn't actually heal the original hurt.
No.
It may have you thinking it's giving you some type of satisfaction, but it just creates two broken people standing in the wreckage instead of one.
Very true.
What's your view?
Say it again.
What's your view?
I believe cheating out of boredom is worse than out of revenge. And the reason why I believe cheating out of boredom is worse is because if you are that idle, you are that free, you are that like lax, and not only insults me that I'm not enough for you, but it's also showing a lack of productivity. You're not even chasing fulfillment. If you're that bored, you're gonna chase, or you have time to cheat, to be engaging with another person, and you're not engaging with me. And it's not even about me. You don't want to engage with me. You want to engage with someone else, or you're not even gonna try and find something else to do. Like, you're not working. If you're not working, you're not even gonna pick up a hobby. Like, that's insulting almost, because here I am working. I'm a person that is ambitious, right? You know me, Vince. I like to work towards goals or bigger things, things bigger than me relatively frequently. And if I had a girl that cheated on me because I'm out there trying to be the best person that I am, I would completely be insulted. I would be up, I would blow, because there's no way I'm out here trying. I putting the work in, and you putting the work in, you putting the shift somewhere else. Like, wait, revenge is one thing. If you cheat on me because I cheat on you, yeah, then everything cool. I understand you mad. Like, you could regret it just as much as I regret cheating. So that on you, but you can't expect me to come back either. I done was a plan on coming back if you catch me cheating.
Yeah. So you saying boredom is worse?
Boredom is worse to me. Boredom is worse to me. Really, it is, because your mind is so open and free. Like, there's nothing going on in your head, no conscience. You cheating because you're bored, and then you're gonna try and turn around and blame it on me when you yourself could have found something else to do. You could have found something better to do.
I agree though. Because I see what you're saying entirely. Hold on, continue. My bad.
And this is probably why I do it in 2025. A lot of them just try and give a baby to these girls that be out in the street so they can have something to do, because really they don't have anything to do. I'm not trying to justify it. It's toxic, it's wild, it's crazy, but bro, revenge, I could expect to come in. These people are petty and immature. I could expect revenge from a lot of people. I'd be shocked if you don't try to get revenge on me, but especially for cheating. But like, boredom, bro, boredom, that speaks to you and your character more than revenge. That's telling me you don't have nothing going on in your life, nothing better to do. You don't have no better interest than to cheat on me. Like, bro, I feel you though. So in, bro.
Because when somebody cheats out of boredom, it's like they basically slapping you in the face. Because while you out there doing all these things, you grinding, sacrificing, sitting idle, entertaining direct distractions. Not just cheating itself, it's the disrespect to your effort.
Disrespect, bro.
Like while you're working to build a life and a future.
Because that's what I'm doing.
Foundation, basically.
Right.
They wasting time seeking attention because they don't know how to stay focused or stay disciplined. And you're right, idleness does lead to temptation. When someone isn't driven by purpose, it's easy for them to basically get lost in
whatever it is they
distractions.
Doing. Exactly.
Yeah. That's why in a relationship it's so important to be building something spiritually, emotionally, and professionally. Yeah. Shared vision helps protect stability. One person's building, another is bored. The imbalance breeds resentment and disrespects.
Right. I mean, exactly.
It disrespect fast.
It is built up quick, fast, and in a hurry, actually. But that is my take on it personally. I believe I would rather get cheated on out of revenge, because, man, shoot, if I cheat and you have revenge, you already know I cheat. So that's just wrong. Not on you. But
let me ask you this.
Okay.
You think a relationship where only one person is building can even survive long term?
No. That's not a relationship.
Why?
That's not a relationship. If I am in a relationship and I'm putting efforts, a lot of me, when I'm speaking about issues, that's the first thing I'm going to say, because that's the only thing I can talk about. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And if I'm saying that to a partner that I'm in a relationship with, they're also going to say, why are you saying everything that you do? Why don't you acknowledge what I do? And you can see where the tension would build up. Even though you have a right to feel how you do, however you may feel, but your actions are not warranted. At that point, the actions aren't warranted, but at the same time, I have a reason for that feeling. If I'm in a relationship, I'm putting in the effort, I'm communicating, I'm initiating conversation, I'm paying for dates, bills, etc., etc. When I'm having a bad day, I talking to the tree. When she having a bad day, I'm trying to uplift her. That is a draining relationship, and it's not going to last in the long run. No way. It can't. Because you're not perfect, and you're not stable 100% of the time. You do have your bad days. That's why I believe, and of course there's a balance. If there ain't no balance, it ain't gonna work. You can't go on a straight road and you ain't balanced. You go roll left and right and you have trouble controlling things. And then you go off the road. So in that regard, yeah, bro, it's not gonna work. What do you think about it?
I agree though, because can't survive long term, because if you really look at it, relationships aren't supposed to one person dragging another through life. In the beginning, love can make you patient. You might tell yourself it's okay, they'll catch up. Or maybe they just need more time. And for a while, you'll carry the extra weight because at the end of the day, you care. That's your significant other. Mm-hmm. Carrying all the dreams, all the goals, and by yourself eventually drains you.
Right.
But like love starts to feel heavy instead of inspiring.
You said love starts to feel heavy instead of inspiring. Yeah, because it's a burden no longer. It's no longer a relationship. It's a burden, and it's
and respect too.
Yeah,
respect starts to slip because when you're sacrificing and doing what you have to do, the other person is standing still, and you start to feel like loving them. You're loving them at a basically it's a disadvantage, if that makes sense.
Not even at a disadvantage. Like even if like you harming yourself. One side of relationships is self-harm.
Like the truth is relationships thrive when both people are growing. Maybe at different paces, but still moving forward together.
Right.
Even if you're not in the exact same place in life, what matters is effort.
Mm-hmm.
When only one person is building, it eventually stops feeling like a partnership. Starts feeling like a burden.
It's funny that you mentioned that because it seems awfully similar to what the Bible speaks about unequally yoked relationships. And the feeling that you're describing is quite linear to being unequally yoked because one person is moving a direction and the other person is moving in the opposite direction. So they're fighting against you instead of working with you pretty much automatically. And that's damaging to the person that is going forward once again. Yeah. 1 second. We have in the chat here, I asked the question, is flirting without physical contact still cheating? We have Anthony Greenslit saying yes, because there's still a subconscious motive behind it. You don't have to do something physical to cheat. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And we do stand on that. Anthony, thank you for replying.
I agree though. Let me comment on that.
Yeah, sure.
Because cheating basically begins in the heart long before it ever touches the body.
Right.
Like when there's a hidden motive, a quiet desire, or loyalty starts to shift away from the one you're committed to. And the foundation is basically already being cracked. Even if nothing physical happens, the emotional or mental betrayal still wounds just as deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Love isn't just about actions. It's about attention, transparency, the way we honor each other, even in our silent thoughts.
So really, love is intentional because you have to be plotting and planning towards it. Like it doesn't happen automatically, correct? Mm-hmm. There has to be some type of motive or some driving force. Yeah, I think it's straightforward. But we're gonna move to our next topic, our next conversation point. Should you tell someone if you know their partner is cheating? Oh my gosh, do I have a story? But Vince, you want to start now, or you want me to talk about it? Because
let me say it, because it ain't gonna, okay. For me, I know people can look at me wrong, but it depends.
Okay.
like, okay, so if you was my boy, right?
Okay.
I don't owe your girl no loyalty. I owe you loyalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't my place to go and tell your story, but it's my place to come to you and tell you different. Like, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. Like, tee up. But I know you and your girl the same amount of time, length of time, and everything. And I'd say yes, but with wisdom. Like if you 100% know for sure, not like rumors or assumptions, facts.
Mhm.
I believe you owe that person the truth because you know them for the same amount of time. So you owe or to them equal amount of loyalty. Staying silent to protect their feelings could basically cause more harm in the long run.
Correct.
Like when you know someone is being lied to and you do nothing, you're basically allowing them to keep investing heart, time, and future broken behind their back.
Right.
But the way you tell them basically matters.
The
It
way you
shouldn't be
tell them.
messy. Yeah, it shouldn't be messy, gossipy, It should come from a place of love and care. Like,
Okay.
I'm not telling you this to hurt you. I'm telling you this because you
Mm-hmm.
basically to make your own choices. Some people would get mad at you first and they'd start
Of course.
defensive.
Of course. That's human nature. Yeah.
Yeah, they may even lash out because hearing the truth hurts. But eventually they realize that real friends,
Real people
those.
who care about you gonna do the uncomfortable and say the uncomfortable things.
And they can protect your fantasy. They can protect your future.
They can hit you
even
with
if it costs
reality.
them.
The friendship.
Yeah, even if they cost them. About integrity.
In my experience, and I've said this story before. I was in a relationship with someone, and not just one, but two people witnessed that she was cheating on me, and I was told months after we broke up that they thought I quote unquote knew. And I did not take it lightly. I did take it personal. It was not easy. It was not fun. And it was not what I wanted. I would have hoped that they would have told me, but they didn't. And I would say I would rather my friends know or tell me that they've seen it than don't tell me, because as a friend, I would appreciate it. And if I were cheating, Vince, if I were cheating and you caught me and you were to tell my girl, I would be upset. I'm not going to say that I won't. I would be mad, but in the long run, I'd have to respect you. Now, it's different if you came and told me first, instead of, how do I word it? Instead of checking with me before you immediately tell, I would respect. But if you didn't, that's a different story. But if you told me like, babe, I ain't gonna lie, like that was some wild stuff, and I get myself together, I'm not saying that you know, like it's okay, like it's justifying, but at least you would have afforded me the opportunity to sort myself out. But some dudes, yeah,
because at the end of the day, how I view it is, I owe you loyalty more than I owe her. I don't even know her.
Right.
I can come to you and I can try to advise you, but I don't know her. I probably ain't can tell her.
You just gonna let it go.
Yeah, and I just ain't can cover up.
Yeah, I wouldn't cover up either. I could say that I wouldn't cover up.
Maybe in the past, I gotta tell a story. You call me and I could be like, yeah, my boy he's with me, this and that. But now I feel like we're at the level where we shouldn't be trying to
cover for people BS and their bad behavior.
Yeah,
I agree.
At the end of the day, us not covering up can make them a better person.
It will, in the long run, make them better. It will.
But for me, if I was out there doing foolishness, yeah, I'd want you to tell. Even if it like hurt me in the moment. Yeah, I could flip my whole world upside down.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still basically rather know the truth than live inside a lie.
I would rather know the whole truth. I'd rather live in my full truth.
Yeah, because when you don't know the truth, you're giving your love, your loyalty, and basically your sacrifices someone who wasn't doing the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather deal with heartbreak truth than build dreams on a fantasy that wasn't real in the first place. This, by the way, if you know my significant other was cheating on me, yeah, I'd rather you come and tell me. But if I was doing foolishness, I'd rather you just come to me. Just come to me.
Yeah,
we
man
can
to
talk
man.
about it.
Yeah, man to
we
man.
can take it out. And hopefully I'm mature enough to make a difference.
I think me, if I were to catch my boy, if I were to catch you or Seth cheating, when I saw it, we'd make eye contact and I'd walk away and then I would talk to you whenever I could.
Yeah.
That's me. Like, that's me. I can't act, because I taking that almost as an extension of me. You's my boy. If you could go cheat, but you do me dirty too, so I could start looking at you. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing your gal dirty.
Because at the end of the day, your girl is she's giving you.
I telling you, she giving you the box, the cookies.
Rated, exactly.
She giving you the cookies, the cookie box, and the watermelon. And I don't even give you all of that. And that's how you do all flicking. I don't even give you cake and ice cream. I don't give you no cake. I ain't get no cake. We just there because we want to be there. So that mean you flicking liable to do whatever. You see what I saying? Like, bro, I can't rock with that, bro. You see what I saying?
Somebody who should have all your loyalty.
Okay, someone who deserve all of your loyalty. I don't deserve anything. Be there because of trusting me there, because we developed that relationship as friends, as good friends. That's your potential wife. That's your potential baby mother. That's your potential flicking long running spouse. Whatever it is, that's your gal. That's the cookie box that's the smile that keeps smiling back, or the snack that smiles back, and you around here cheating? Bro, I can look at you with the meanest side eye on the planet. The meanest side eye, bro. No questions about it, no doubt. Cause no way, bro. No way. Absolutely no. Okay, next question. Would you ever get back with someone who cheated years ago? Boy.
On you?
On me. But if if it was you, if someone cheated on you, would you get back with an ex?
I have before.
Okay.
To be honest, do it years ago, right? It depends, because years ago for us is school,
childhood, yeah.
Right? You had an immature mindset, but we both adults, and you cheating on me while you was an adult. I may talk to you, try to figure out where your mind is, but fool me once, fool me twice, and fool me 3 times. You can't fool me a 3rd time. I may give you a second chance, but more than 3.
More than twice, not even 3, more than 2.
More than twice, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, some dudes may.
They just keep it coming. Yeah.
The box may have them to swing up. So it's topping to that question you put in the chat.
Okay.
Who cheats more, man or woman?
Boy, oh boy. Anthony say, oh, I can't answer that. Next question, nope, I answering. I think if I had to decide who cheats more, I'm gonna say the girls that cheat more. The reason why I say this, yes. If we're going back to the concept of what cheating is, who emotionally cheats more? Women allow or
emotionally or physically.
Physically, okay, yeah, women emotionally cheat more, yeah. They create more room and more opportunity for them to cheat than a man does to cheat.
Okay, for me, I feel like if
wait, before we continue, I'm gonna break it down. The reason why cheating is cheating, I'm not gonna deny that, but the reason why I said that women cheat more, they have more opportunity to cheat than men do to cheat, because we look at society on a daily basis. People don't care about men like that for real. Like, not every dude has 10 messages when he wake up in the morning asking how you doing. Not every dude, when he posts a picture on his status on his social media, is gonna get hearts and likes and swipe ups and chats and things. He's not getting that attention. Not every dude is like that, right? But a lot of girls are getting positive reinforcement when they post on social media. And if we're going back on when we said that social media influences people and makes them believe that they have unlimited opportunity, you could kind of see where I'm going with this. The woman is more likely to cheat, and I will therefore stand that women do cheat more, whether it be physical.
Let me just open it off for the nurse real quick.
Okay,
Continue
sure.
with
yeah. So yeah, women cheat more. They don't even consider it cheating. Like that's like how they lie and say, yeah, I ain't into it. Yeah, I tell him I like him. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's insane. You know what I mean? And there'll be a double standard. Like if a girl swipe up on your man's chat and she say, your haircut look good. And he say, man, thanks. Girl's gonna crash out. Anthony, yo, you gonna crash out. But like with dudes, let's look at it from a different standpoint. Let's talk about it on a physical. A girl can walk up on a guy and rub his arm and he could be like, yo, what you on about? But like if a dude approach a girl and like grab her cheeks, that's disrespectful. Like you can get the police getting called, right? So the room and the opportunity for men to cheat is much smaller. And women also do control access for sex. And I agree and I stand on that, because in the relationships that I would have been in, I was saying that women control the grounds for sex. And the reason why I say that, no, it does depend on certain circumstances, but for the most part, if a woman puts hands on you first, you're gonna fold. But if a man put hand on a woman, whether she want it or not, if she decides to say no, you're in problems. So that just tells you the authority that she does have.
I mean, okay, so for the thing is, right, for the men versus women, okay, to be real, right?
Okay.
Both cheat, right? And anybody saying otherwise, it's just picking sides.
But we ain't asking that though.
If you look at statistics, you really look at statistics. Men cheat more. Or they used to cheat more, especially back in the day. Because I know what stories my grom's telling me. Yeah. But I know my grom's telling me she find my grumpy car in front of this woman's house and she had to flat his tire and need to walk home. You know?
Yeah, I think the reason why the statistic is that way is simply because men don't care that much, and they too driven. If they're gonna go cheat physically, they too driven, because men don't really emotionally cheat. Quite frankly, they cheat physically. If a man physically cheats,
hold on, yeah, but I'm finished. Let me finish.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
men had the opportunity. They had more opportunity back in it.
Correct.
More excuses and less. But to be honest, the world changed. Women are more independent, more outside, more connected, and basically temptation is hitting everybody in the same way.
No,
like some people try to say
it's not in the same
way. Women
cheat
more.
It's not in the same way though. You can't. I don't agree with that.
Hold on, let me. Because I can top on the DMs. All right. Yeah, they may be getting more DMs because of social media and attention from dudes everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, women do get approached more, no doubt. But having the opportunity don't mean nothing if your heart is in the right place. Opportunity don't basically do the cheating. People do. Because just because a woman gets more offers don't mean she's weaker or more likely to fold. If anything, it takes a stronger person to have the world in their hands and stay loyal. And honestly, I don't even think women having more opportunity is a real reason, because we get opportunities too. I can post a picture on Instagram and get a bunch of likes, and
But that you're not the
etc.
typical guy, Vince. Dude, that's not
Maybe,
common.
but
That's not common.
but maybe it's not as obvious as a DM, but everywhere. But it's everywhere, like clubs, works. I show you, if you walk in the office bar, you can get some eyes. If I walk in the office, I can get some eyes.
But that's not for every. That's not for every guy.
You're right.
And
there's a difference in a lot of men. Like a lot of men chase.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of men chase opportunity while a lot of women attract it. It's that's basically
that's two different things. It is. But
and
if
some
someone,
people like try to put it all on women.
I'm not doing that.
Get more chances. No, I ain't saying you're doing it. But some people say it like they get more chances to cheat. Like that's the lazy thinking. Like cheating ain't about how many people want you. It's about how strong your character is.
True.
When you're being wanted.
But it's also about temptation.
It's not about the opportunity. Yeah, but I don't really think like it's about the opportunity, the gender, looks, money, whatever. It's about integrity.
Okay.
It's about the kind of soul you have when nobody's clapping for you, when no one's keeping.
When no one's watching.
Yeah,
that's what integrity
separates
really is.
The faithful from the fake.
Okay, so with that, see, I still standing on that hill though, because let's look at temptation and let's look at what people would deem as positives to cheating. Having your cake and eating it too. Like, people cheat to validate whatever reasons they have, right? If they cheat, they feel it's not true that it is that way, but they cheat because they feel like something going on, or they feel inclined to cheat because someone's showing them more attention. This fire hotter than the old flame I got, or the flame that I have at home ain't working, so I gotta go cook on somebody else's stove. Yeah, they see like that candy. They like how that new car. They like that new car smell. They got a reliable car at home, but they want that new car smell. They want to take it for a spin. They want to try that ride. They want to go for a little, you know what I'm saying, just to rekindle some old experiences, bring some life, right?
Experiences bring problems.
Yeah, but the temptation. I'm not trying to make it an argument of who gets more tempted or who has more opportunity. Both get temptation on social media, no doubt about it. A girl posts a picture, she gets the temptation of accepting these dudes. A dude is on social media, he's seeing everybody showing all like cake and ice cream, every scroll like yeah. So it's all type of temptation to swipe up on somebody.
Oh hell no.
So honestly, Seth, by the way, the question we're we're answering is, who cheats more, men or women? You have to pick a side. So I'll let you ponder on that before you answer.
It's definitely women. I don't need to ponder on anything. No, like okay.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Not
before y'all talk about benefit of the doubt, this and that, whatever. I need y'all to hear me out, right? Who has more options?
Okay, I said the same thing.
Like as a man, you only have options when you have something to give, right?
Transactional, pretty much.
Most men have a transactional sense towards options. Now, women's transactional sense to options. You look nice. That's it. You look nice. That's enough for you to get cheat. It's enough for you to cheat. Yeah. Like for men, you look nice. You gotta have money. You gotta be tall. You gotta, X, Y, and Z. Like
all type of things.
Bro, literally, it is just more accessible to women. Period. Like that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else to say. So.
Like I was saying before you came back, Seth, I think that just the access to that potential and that temptation after a while, if you don't stop it, you keep playing around, the more you fool around, the more you find out. Quite frankly, the more you fool around, the more you will find out. Right? So who gets the more? Who fools around more? Who just as casually posts thirst traps? Like thirst traps.
Nah, I mean, I know some dudes who try.
But
One of them
like,
is your squatty.
that's a wild thing to say.
I bet you know exactly what you're talking about.
Boy. Anyway, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Thirst traps. Okay, I think Loki. I probably posted a thirst trap or two. It wasn't intentional. I'm aware of it now, but I think I posted. What do you mean, Cap?
You know what else intentional is?
That was not intentional.
I know I have before.
That wasn't intentional. What are you talking
in
about?
high school?
No. In high school.
When I posted in high school, I was intentional.
What you used to post? Yeah, that's.
What? That's a story for another day.
I think and this is also thirst trapping. You posting if you don't do fitness content, but you showing your physique on your status, that's lucky thirst trapping. That's thirst trapping. I've done it. I consider it, and that's why I stopped doing it. That's why I don't do it anymore. The only picture I posted since I realized, and I posted on my private my private Instagram, and that was like a post for my progress. But yeah, deep down I thought about it after my breakup. Yeah, I posted a thirst trap. And it definitely worked. It definitely got a few replies. Not my proudest moment because now I recognize, thirst trapping. Really out there being a harlot. But yeah, man.
Yeah. But I mean, like, sometimes in life, that's just what you were, right? Like, in that moment in life, that's what you were. I
definitely was a harlot.
You were just being a harlot. Like, that's you. You were a witch.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious, bro. Okay, if I'm being honest, bro, it's a funny feeling. I can't even lie. Like, it's a funny feeling because you do it, you get the validation. So I could kind of understand why girls post what they do. Cause
like, walked in there outside.
Yeah, bro.
About.
Mm-hmm. I can understand why girls get the feeling that they do. But now that I'm aware of it, I don't do it or I abstain. If I do post anything that is anything regarding my body, I don't post it often. Honestly, like, and if I do genuinely show for the progress aspect. So I don't know. Some people.
That's my excuse too, man. I play it.
I like you saying, oh, okay, yeah, that's my excuse too, Baron. Yeah, I totally just be posting my bicep and my chest for myself.
The crazy thing is for me, I only post those to my boys. I mean, it's
I be sending it to y'all. Yeah.
No, I don't mean to sound fruity or nothing, but like
no. Yeah.
But like I really only post stuff for my boys. I'm like, look, like I made progress in the gym. I know y'all could be proud of me, and y'all the only people I care about being proud of me.
Right.
Other than me.
Exactly. And you ain't want no thirsty people.
Exactly.
Man.
Because that thirsty stuff, that's gone too out of hand these days, man. Like I've had people on Red for like weeks who still text me again, and I'm like, do you not understand what the red meant? Like, are you dense? Do you not understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't respond the first 2 times, have some self-respect, have some dignity.
That's the power of the thirst trap, bro. You don't understand, bro. Listen, you post a thirst trap and you get someone hooked. They thirsty, like, and they want your water. Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, like you the only one who really got the waterfall. That
honestly, like, what I think it's the song Night Verse. Only you alone can quench the thirst, bro. Like, that's basically what thirst trapping is caused, bro. That's what thirst trapping is do. But now that I'm aware of it, I'm also aware of girls doing it. And whenever I see girls doing it, I kind of be disappointed because
Right.
the girls that are doing it, a lot of them, they are very attractive and they don't need to do that, but they do it anyway. And it really just puts a frown on my face.
I think because a large part of it is you start to realize it's just for attention, right?
Yeah, yeah. And like you just look at that and be like, wow, you're really that shallow that you just posting it for the attention straight up? Like really? Like you didn't even go in the gym. You just posting the fit that you wearing that is clearly revealing and showing all the cake and all the chicken breasts. And you know, I didn't subscribe to this, but I'm seeing it. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say that male thirst trapping is more acceptable, but it's kind of, how do I word it? Male thirst trapping isn't even considered thirst trapping, but female thirst trapping is acceptable one, and it's praised. It's praised.
It is low-key praised. I wouldn't say that for males it's acceptable. It's just more like it's more unknown. Like people don't really care.
People don't care. But like some girls, they would definitely say, why this boy showing all of his, all this schmeat? Or why he showing all of this? Nobody come for all of that. They would say that. They just wouldn't tell you. I've heard a girl say this before, like, boy, what is this boy doing? Yeah. Not a girl.
Girls just posting and don't even realize what they're posting.
That's what I said. I post a few pictures before and like I didn't even think about it as in that way until some people replied and I'm like, hey yo, like you looking at all of that, fam? Like thirst trapping, bro, I have a whole changed perspective on it. Okay, I'll be honest. It's not okay. It is not okay. I think it just needs to be stopped, but this is why I don't really be on social media like that anymore. Oh, Seth, I don't know if I asked this question. For you,
yeah,
would you ever get back with someone who cheated on you years ago?
No. That's just immediate no. That's a never.
Absolutely not. Don't even think about it. You're not kind of body.
I didn't even have to think about it. Even when you asked the question, I didn't think about it. Like that's ridiculous to ask. Like, why would someone do that?
Mm-hmm.
I think the answer to that really is if you have self-respect.
Right. If you
I feel like you wouldn't do that if you had self-respect.
Yeah, because you would know that person did me dirty and that was unacceptable. Okay. My new question is, how do you know when it's time to walk away versus when to work it out?
Comes down to, I suppose, genuine mistakes versus like.
Okay, so I may be a little blind to this. Okay. For me, I feel like anything fixable, you should be able to, if you truly love this person, try to work it out. Anything that's fixable.
But how do you know if it's fixable?
Like personal traits, let's say flaws, or anything that's you could fix those things.
Flaws?
Correct those things. Yeah.
What kind of flaws can you fix?
Insecurities. You could fix insecurities.
Can you really?
You could work on them.
You could be alongside someone for them to work on it, but you can't really fix insecurities.
Not saying you're to fix that person, but I'm saying those shouldn't really can truly be a deal breaker, so to say.
Okay.
Like I feel like you know when it's time, like you would know when it's time to walk away, and staying is costing you your peace, your self-respect, and your purpose.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like when you start losing yourself trying to hold on to somebody, when it's time to really sit down and ask, am I still growing here, or am I just surviving here?
You know this enough.
Yeah. Like on the flip side, it's time to work it out when you see effort on both sides. So like, let's say you and your significant other have, let's say she have an insecurity and she's trying to work that insecurity out and trying to do better for, not just for you, but for the relationship.
Right.
Like not just words, not just promises, but real action, growth and change better. Then you could actually stay and work it out. Like when two people are both willing to heal, communicate, and rebuild, that's when you fight for it. The difference is when you're the only one fighting, when it feels like you're pouring water into a cup with a hole in it. It's not love, that's destruction.
Yeah, that's self-destruction.
Yeah, because relationships take work, like no doubt. They're supposed to be hard sometimes. Not sometimes. A lot of times. But they're not supposed to destroy you. There's a difference between fighting for love and fighting to prove you're worthy of love. Which one leads to the future, the other leads
one leads to destruction. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should never, and you can't ever fight to prove your love. Like if you have to prove anything to anybody, you're already in a bad state. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I would have spoken and told people that several times. But if you have to do all of that, bro, tell the person get on, bro. Like really, like you could get on, you could kick rocks politely. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah,
that's frick. How do y'all feel about closure to relationships? Ooh, is closure something you can find alone, or does the cheater owe it to you? And let's not even bring cheating in general. Closure to a relationship. Do you need closure from a person, or you could get closure on your own?
I think the way that I truly believe about closure is I think people need it, but when they don't get it, they find something else that they need, which is strength.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't get closure, you will find it through personal strength.
Right. You'll just overcome
it. You will overcome it because no relationship will ever forever hold you down.
Right.
But is closure better than not getting some? I think sometimes it is. Yeah, sometimes closure not just from a cheater, but like there's other reasons. Like closure is just a good thing in most relationships. Like say for example, you and I are best friends, right?
Right.
Say something happens between us that ruins our relationship. It's kind of good to know what perspective you came from.
Yes.
For our relationship to have ended as even best friends. Not even as lovers, just as best friends. Like, okay, our relationship ended, and it's like, okay, well, you behaved in that way, I behaved in this way, and why did we do those things?
Yes.
Once you find that out, there is more comfort. You know? And I'm not saying comfort is always useful in every human interaction, but it's beneficial sometimes. And I think this is one of those situations where it's helpful. Okay. And if you don't get it, there will be a harsh reality, and that harsh reality will make you stronger.
Right.
That's the way that I see it.
Okay. Well, for me, I believe that closure is something that you should find alone. And what I mean by find alone, you can talk to someone, right? You could conversate with your ex, your partner, but really, in the end, it is you and your thoughts, and you have to make sense of what happened by hook or crook. Ultimately, that person could say whatever, but your mind and what you receive knows what happened. Your body knows what happened. And no amount of gaslighting, no amount of manipulation, no amount of lying is going to change what you felt. And being honest with yourself and what you feel Is closure enough? You don't need anybody to say anything. If you feel bad, you feel some kind of way, it's a reason why you feel that way. It's a reason why you feel that way, and that's your closure.
100%.
Closure is something you gotta find within.
Yeah, but
the other person
I think, like, would you guys agree with the stance that like sometimes it's better to just get closure from someone, like
Someone
in the
as in the
sense of
person,
like,
or
yeah, like
friend?
the person, like you realize like, hey, like you did the things you did because of this, and I did the things that I did because of this.
I think that's
And
possible.
that's just the end of the relationship. That's
I
it.
think
I'm not saying we go any further than that. That's it. Like,
But see, the thing is, right? You get the closure, like, but real closure doesn't come from them. It comes from when you decide to accept what happened, even if you never get all the answers you wanted. Waiting on someone to bring you closure can keep you stuck in a chapter that's already. Some people can't even give you closure because they don't have the maturity or the courage, or even the understanding of what they did.
Right.
I feel like if someone truly cared, fix it right, you wouldn't even be needing closure. You
Exactly.
still have them.
Exactly.
So for me, I feel like closure is about forgiving without getting an apology, accepting without understanding, and choosing to move forward even with unanswered questions. It's about healing for you, not waiting on them to explain it.
Okay. I think closure, in my eyes, as I said before, is making sense of whatever transpired, whether they accept it or not. And that could leave you victim to a delusion. It could leave you to things that didn't happen in a relationship or things that did, denial of a lot of things. But really, you need to focus on you and make sure you good by hook or crook, because that person is no longer, you're not in a relationship with them, and you could hold on to the hope that they will come back, or can work it out, or you can live your life and whatever happens. I believe that some people just didn't give you closure. Like you said, Vincent, they're not mature enough to give you closure. So because they're not mature enough to give you closure, you won't get closure. You have to make closure within yourself, because that's what they're going to do. If they're not going to give you closure, they don't want your closure because they already got everything. So you should take a page out of their book and do what they do. Leave them alone. Accept that they're a toxic person or immature person. And that's enough closure for me. You may not get the level of closure. You may not see eye to eye. And that's probably why you all broke up sometimes too. Y'all didn't see each other eye to eye. Y'all weren't mature or some things happen. But closure is something that you could get within yourself.
Right.
If you were
closure in a conversation, it's a decision.
It's a decision. I could say to myself, and this is what I did. I said to myself, I was treated poorly. I did the best that I could. They didn't do the best that they could. And if they did the best that they could, it is what it is. That's enough closure for me. They did the best. I did the best. It didn't work out. I felt bad. She felt bad. We broke up. Boom. What conversation is
Let me show
there?
you what I feel like closure is. Closure is when you basically stop needing the explanation to validate your healing. But I feel like closure should, like, yes, that's exactly what it is. You want me to explain? I can explain it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Explain further.
When I say closure is when you stop needing the explanation to validate your healing, I'm saying healing can't basically be dependent on somebody else's words, their reasons, or even their apology.
Okay.
A lot of us stay stuck because we're waiting for that person to admit they're wrong.
Right.
Exactly. Explain why they hurt us.
You're waiting for closure.
Finally say, that we're waiting for them to finally say the right thing so we could feel justified in letting go. But if your healing depends on their explanation, then you're still giving them the power over you. Basically saying, I can't move on unless you tell me what I want to hear. Like real closure comes when you say, even if I never get the answers, even if they never say sorry, or even if they lie to themselves forever, I'm choosing my peace over proof. I'm choosing growth over getting even.
Yeah.
That explanation doesn't heal you. Your decision to no longer eat it does.
Uh-huh.
That's what really heals you.
Okay. That's a clear point. I respect that. I agree. Next question. If someone cheats while drunk, should they be given a second chance?
Let's not even go with that question. That's a no. like that's not even a valid question.
That's not good about it.
Because I'm gonna be completely honest. If I was drunk right now, which I am, quote unquote,
That's
not,
crazy.
right?
This nigga.
Like even if that was the case right now, quote unquote, right?
Uh-huh.
Like I wouldn't cheat.
Okay.
100%.
The thing is, right?
I just wouldn't do it. Like you'd only do it if you was gonna do it anyway.
I agree. I low-key agree.
You'd only do it if you was gonna do it anyway.
Okay, so with that being said, I have this question, and this is why if I have a partner, even now I don't even.
Hold on, let me answer real quick.
Go ahead.
So the thing is, right? How much females y'all ever been with that when they get drunk, first person they text or call is you?
like literally, like men, every single one that I've actually dated, that's exactly how they act.
Okay, so
like the ones that I dated and they were like, "Oh, I really love you." That's exactly how they act.
Exactly. So cheating, like being drunk, isn't an excuse. It might explain why their judgment was quote unquote weaker, but
right, but it is not an excuse for cheating.
Yeah, because we've been with females and they call you first.
They're like, "Oh, I'm
it doesn't
drunk.
erase
Where's my
the
boyfriend
fact.
Yeah, that's how I
It
is.
doesn't erase the fact that they made a choice before the alcohol ever touched their lips. Like drinking doesn't create new desires. It exposes what's already buried inside of you. So if you cheat while you're drunk, it means that there was already something in you willing to despair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this question now. If I know that whenever I drink with enough drinks, I liable to do just about anything, is it still because I was gonna cheat anyway, or rather me not having self-control?
Bro, like the thing is, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but just my opinion, Brian, like the people cheating in that situation, they're the people who were gonna do it anyway. like the thing is, yes, you are out of your judgment, 100%. Maybe you're not in control. Maybe the person was even convincing about what they were gonna do to you. I agree. I agree about all those things, but
so let me ask this part.
Okay,
but you would have only done it because here's the thing, right? And this is just me being honest.
Right.
Anytime that I've been drunk, right? Like while I was with my ex, my last ex, right? Literally my last ex. Anytime that I was drunk, my first thing would be to look for her. Like if she not at the same party, I'd look for her. If she was at home, I'd text her. That was my first response. Like I'd be completely gone, bro. I'd be like practically blacked out. Like I wouldn't even know what I'm doing, and the first person I'm thinking about is her.
As your girl, I think some girls find it extremely attractive too. To be honest, I think that just has turned them on.
I'm just literally all I'm saying is when all I'm trying to say is when I'm in love, it does not matter how intoxicated I am.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a matter of both. Because you ready, first of all, if you know that's how you get when you're drunk, you shouldn't be drinking. You should learn your limits.
No, you should just not
shouldn't
drink.
pass your limit outside. That too. But
now, mind you, the reason I was getting blacked out because I was a teenager.
Yeah, you just were irresponsible.
I didn't know. I didn't know at all.
Of self-control, like 100%. You already know that alcohol makes you reckless. And you still put yourself in situations where you lose control. That's a choice you're making before the drink even touches your lips. like it's premeditated in a way because you choose to take the risk, knowing who you become when you're drunk. Second,
100%.
like on a deeper level, if you end up cheating while drunk, it means somewhere inside you there was already a crack. Like alcohol didn't create the desire,
Right?
it exposed it without filters. It made you act on something that was already sitting there in the dark. So it's both like lack of discipline and it's unspoken willingness that finally surface. And that's why basically alcohol dangerous, bro. But because blaming it on, and if we really blame it on alcohol, it's just running from the truth. Real accountability should be, even before I drink, I had some stuff in me that I never dealt with. And until you deal with that, drink sober. Like drunk, sober, it don't matter. Like the problem is still living inside you. It's best just to take accountability of the situation and move on.
Okay.
Yep.
So
100%.
Yeah.
You gotta comment on the topic.
Nisi Reach.
No.
Listen, it's about to get spicy. Let's go, Nisi. Nisi.
Yeah.
My question for you tonight is: I throwing you straight into the fire.
Oh,
Who
Jesus.
does cheat more, man or woman?
Man, what else?
Oh no!
Why do you
way?
say that?
No way!
Why do you think so?
There's no way.
Why do you think
I
so?
don't even know what she's talking about.
Let me stop playing. I don't think we really can't say which gender is cheat.
Yes, you
cheat more.
can. You have to choose one though. For the essence of this conversation, you got to choose one. Choose it and stand on business. She had to go. I could tell she blushing.
Because I looking at my pros and cons.
I could tell she thinking it's like,
She knows she had more cheating situations than Father Brown outside.
I'm telling you.
Hold on, wait.
See?
Anyway,
All right, let's see.
okay. Honestly, I think I'll stick. I could stick with my answer.
Man is cheat more.
I think man is cheat more.
Okay.
Why is that?
You ain't no way.
Because, okay, I don't know. It's y'all can't put me on the spot like this.
Well, and that,
nah.
with that being said, we can give you time to think and we continue talking about the other topics that we have. But really sit, and then whenever you're ready, you can tell us. That sound good?
But why do you think man is cheat more though? Like,
Because man's selfish.
Have you had more experiences?
Man selfish.
Man self. Oh, anyway.
How much males have you run into?
No.
Man selfish. That's why man is cheat more.
So let's.
They don't know how to communicate.
Right? Oh, sorry.
They don't know how to communicate.
I'll let you finish.
Man. Okay, put it like this. You see how people be, but not even people. We know women go off of words. Women go
off of words.
Women go for words. Like you tell a woman like the hair, she pretty. Woman like the hair, a man like
that is
go off for looks. They go off for looks.
Correct.
Be for it. Okay.
No, what you're saying is true because we had a whole discussion about it. And what I said,
a man go off for looks.
And a woman
go off for words. A man, like y'all was talking about that drunk conversation. Men like to use that as an excuse to cheat.
What, getting drunk?
Yeah, getting drunk. They use that. That's their favorite excuse. Let me not say their favorite excuse because I ain't never been in a situation. I just hear stories, you know. But I feel like man cheat more. Y'all don't take accountability. Y'all selfish. Put it like that. Y'all selfish. Y'all don't take accountability. Your favorite thing is two man.
Hold on.
I think you always mix up with somebody.
No, y'all make up a whole new thing for cheating. Two man.
Nisi. Let's go back to the accountability, right? Let's go back to accountability. Nisi, watch this why, right? If a girl cheat on her boyfriend, what do you think she cheat on him for? What do you think he cheat on him for?
If a girl cheat on her boyfriend?
Yeah. What's the first thought in your mind?
No attention.
What?
Oh,
he ain't giving her no attention.
You see what I say?
So you're saying attention is like the first thing. It's like the
She
main
neglected.
first thing.
Here's the problem. What you do to that girl
Yeah.
for the cheat?
Neglection.
Nisa, you hard, babe. You hard.
Oh, it's the man's fault.
For real, bro.
You hard.
Neglection. Nah, what would you think is the first thing with a man cheat?
Yeah, something about insecurity. Insecurity or
insecurity, lack of self-control.
Right.
I wouldn't even call it insecurity.
Lack of self-control.
Lack
No,
of
because
self-control.
woman could try you. Woman could try you. If a woman really wants you, she could try you.
Lack of self-control.
Why it have to be an internal issue when the man cheats?
Exactly.
No. Watch this. It's an internal issue if a man cheats. That's an external issue if a woman cheats.
Okay, so let me hear your
nothing internal.
Wait, let me hear your. So who do y'all think cheat more, woman or man?
I think women have more potential to cheat, and therefore cheat more as well.
Why you say that?
I believe that men have more opportunity to cheat because of the environment that social media portrays, aka they have more quote unquote options and other opportunities. And also backing that is the fact that women control access to sex and men control access to relationships. A woman could put a hand on a man and everything could be cool, but if a man put a hand on a woman, that's a different story. If a woman go rub a man forearm, he might just get turned on. She whisper in the ear and that's game over. But if a man come up on a girl and whisper in the ear, if you in a club, Nisi, and a dude whisper in the ear, what you doing?
Slap. One slap.
You see?
Right. See?
Okay, now watch this. No,
for real. Wait. I got an example.
Let me finish, because you asked me a question. When you post, not you, but when girls just post on social media, they post they bikini shots, showing all the bongi season, all the cake and ice cream, right? They get a bunch of likes, and all them likes, all she thinking is, I know all of them. If I swipe it when they got answer, right?
I don't know.
You don't know anyway, but you ain't gotta accept that. But if a man posts on his status, like me, I used to post I post 1 or 2 pictures of my improvement, right? If girls, if anybody like you think I thinking that I swipe up, nah, that's a girl that I could bag and tag, it doesn't work like that.
Okay,
but for man, if they liking the girl picture, they liking it because they into that. And if she swiping and she say, well, if you like what you see, you could get more. 2 + 2 adding up to 4 and it out the door.
Check.
Like, come on. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say like automatically women is cheat more, but the potential is there. You can't tell me.
I
Man
can
have
agree
more potential. The only way man got more potential to cheat.
All I'm saying is you heard the man rhyme. And if he rhyme, he right.
Listen.
He multiplied it 4 times. Bro, he times it like 6, she can do the tricks.
Listen.
Tricks is for kids.
Tricks is for kids? Well, they need to stop tricking because we ain't kids. Anyway,
Right.
the way I see it, if a guy, the only way a guy does increase his potential for getting or cheating is to increase his value. If a girl see a dude, relationship or not, married or not, and he making bub or he like higher in power, she could shoot a shot. You know what she could say, man, what the hell? I ain't got nothing to lose. I could just try and see how far I get.
Real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't lie.
You could try. Women could try, man. They provoking. They seductive. They know the games. They know what to talk out of man heart. So the potential there. Now, as a woman, the best thing you could do is just look good for a man at least. Now, if you will swing whatever other way that on y'all, I don't know what y'all just be doing. But I ain't getting into that. That's a topic I can't talk about. But for a girl, if she attractive. Ain't nothing she could do much about it, but be who she is. Now, if she start getting disrespectful, start treating your boy like a slave, depending on who it is, your boy leaving. Or he could just be a simple lollipoppy.
We don't talk about them said on this podcast, man.
We don't talk about
Let's be honest, man. We don't talk about them said, yeah.
I have strong disapproval for people that neglect themselves for relationships. Not
I'm gonna keep it
relationships.
a buck. We don't fuck with them. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
We
yo,
don't mess with them simps.
yo.
My bad. My
Oh,
bad. My bad.
nice, really nice.
Yeah, censored on the post cut.
Yeah, you ain't even know postcard, bro. Anyway, so watch this now. Vincent, we even spoke about this in ECU here. Does easy access to dating apps make people less loyal? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It makes people less
Yes.
loyal. It's more temptation, more room for cheating.
Yes. Easy
Easy
access.
answer.
Like basically,
Easy access.
a fine girl, she got easy access. She get easy access to anything she want. With all you gotta do is be fine.
This
Like when I say
exists.
fine, pretty body, everything. Trust me, she get easy access to anything she want.
Yeah, because dude's dumb.
Pretty privilege.
It really is pretty
Let me tell you
privilege.
something.
It is.
Pretty privilege is real. I'm telling you,
Do
pretty
you
privilege.
believe it's real for both men and women?
No, woman. Well, no. You got some pretty boys out there that just get pretty privilege.
No. Let's be honest. There's some real pretty boys out there, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say. Yeah.
I talking about them set, like everybody is be like that boy is a kidnapper and the gals is be like, no, but he ain't a kidnapper, he's
Yeah,
so
that's
pretty,
why I
this and
say
that, and they just get kidnapped.
I
It's
think
real.
there's levels to pretty privilege as well, of course.
Yeah, pretty privilege real. And ugly privilege real. Ugly.
Oh yeah, ugly. Yeah.
That real too. That real.
Yeah,
Ugly
some people
do bad.
just.
Ugly, you
If
get
you
touch up
ugly,
like
you
that
just.
all the
Hey
time.
yo, pardon?
Listen, ugly people just get do bad, and I just feel sorry for them. Cause
You
boy,
feel sorry for them? I
What?
lie. I don't feel sorry. Aye.
no boy, it ain't their fault. How you
It
do
really
someone
ain't
like
their fault.
their fault?
I don't feel
But
sorry
I blame
for
the
them.
parent.
Though. As a
I blame
parent,
the parent.
you blame
I
the
blame
parent
the-
for being ugly.
You know you.
Why you don't feel sorry for them, Brian? You don't. What you got
My
against
thing-
ugly people, boy?
Exactly. You know you ugly, right? Why you going to date someone that's too uglier than you are, who just as ugly?
Because it's
To
not
make a
about
creation.
looks,
Wait,
Nisi. It's
I
about how they made me
Brian got a
feel.
problem with ugly people. boy.
It's how you make you feel, but then you bring up
ugly
creation.
people, boy.
That's what I say.
Okay. Let me.
You
shed
making a
some-
whole another ugly creation to come on this earth to make another ugly creation.
Here's what as a person that is of the ugly community, I
You
would
ain't got
say-
an old lady. Hold on. How you put yourself in that box? No,
as a
man.
member of the ugly community, I
No,
think
don't say you something. How you get a member of the ugly community now? Let's talk about that.
It's really
Who
Vince.
you
It's
ugly?
really Vince. We're Vince that.
Hey Nisi, we ain't coming for all of that. We ain't coming for all of that. You know what? Let's get back on topic, yeah? Let's actually talk about it. So, after accepting that dating apps make people less loyal, do you think pretty privilege makes people cheaters?
No. But Barn.
Yes.
I want y'all to hear me out though. I think dating apps make women less loyal.
No.
Like
No.
okay. No. Before you say no to me, Vinisi, I want you to hear me out. There is a large contingency of men who will find pretty much any woman attractive, whereas there's a very small contingency of women that will find any man attractive.
Very true.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yes. So if you just look empirically, like you go on Reddit or you go on whatever other website and you search up like how men are doing on dating apps versus how women are doing on dating apps. And I know this because I live in Canada. So I've had I've had a lot of female friends from the age of like 17, 18, 19, 20 who have been on dating apps, and they have told me they have 100 matches. Anytime they swipe right, it's an instant match.
Yeah.
Now, as a man who's lived in Canada and has seen other men go on dating apps, and I had like one summer where I tried out dating apps. Guess what?
What?
You swiping right does not end up with the immediate match. But every female friend you have, anytime they swipe right, it's an immediate match.
That's
So
some
when I say that,
hard boy.
so for women, dating apps are 100% more likely. Okay, let me say this: 80 to 90% more likely to boost their ego over men's ego. Would you disagree, just based on those anecdotal features?
Nisi.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I watch when they went to school with on this dating app, and every single girl size, despite the weight, ever, you just swipe.
All I'm saying, Vince, is after being on a dating app, I know what type of girls is like me. I've seen a good amount of women who swipe right on me. I know what type of girls like me, right? But also in that same light, what I realize is niggas is like every gal. Every gal that niggas they just swipe right. They just swipe right.
They just be like, well, I look good. Dummies.
Because what's this? When I was on dating apps, right? I was selecting women to swipe right on. Right?
Yeah.
And some of the dudes that was next to me while they saw me swiping and stuff, they was like, wait, why you ain't swiping on every girl? I'm like, I don't want every girl. I only want the girls that I want. And they were like, oh yeah, like when I'm on Tinder, I swipe on every girl. That's how you make sure
that's
you
a
get
you
all
problem.
of them.
You trying to
See,
get
like
all.
But see, that's what majority of men are in the situation of. They are trying to expand their volume. Most men
trying to get
are
quality.
trying to. They don't care about quality. They're going for volume first, and then they break it down to quality.
That's crazy.
As for women have the option of quality off the bat. Women have the option of. Men don't have the option of quality. That's what I learned.
So
majority of men do not have the option of quality.
No, so listen to this, right? Since you say that, men don't have the option of quality right off the bat, but women do have off the bat.
But when it comes to online dating,
when it comes to online dating, what is really crazy is because with online dating, women have that unlimited potential off the bat. They somehow translate that to reality. And when they translate that to reality, they just be like, I could be at any man on the planet. He swiped right on me online, so it don't even matter. Don't say nothing to me. You swipe right. Time that nigga wasn't even looking at you for real. You see how... Hey.
Exactly.
Man, get
Most
on, man.
Wasn't even looking at you.
Man.
But most man wasn't even they don't even know who they swiped on.
They don't even know. They be like, hold on, I swipe right on you, man. I must see wasn't looking.
But no, they have this thing now where you could send like 100 messages out to like 100 people on the app without you just type in hey, and then you hit send to 100 people and then send it to 100 random.
Yeah, that's bottom. That's bottom.
But like Nisi, you heard what I said earlier though, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me put it like this. Okay.
I think in the modern world, women have more options than men, whether we like to agree with or not.
But men have potential.
More potential or less potential?
More potential.
What you
reason
mean
why I say that more potential?
I want to hear you out.
I mean,
me myself, as someone who was on dating apps, man is text Annie and they speak. It's like it's not even one specific, but like you know how if a man in a dating app, they have a specific type, or when you say type, like girl, like we don't say I can't even say type or girl, well girl, but like say for instance, like this guy only get texts from white girls, like they have a specific ethnicity or
it's a certain category that works for him. Okay.
No, man is text anything. They text any.
They don't have access. Because they don't have access.
That's why I say they have potential. They have a bigger potential, though. They have a potential to cheat. They text anything. Because imagine you text 100 girls. Trust me, one or two of them he gonna get.
So Nisa, you telling me because I text 100 girls and only 2 out of the 100 there, that means that I have more opportunity to cheat?
Well, you have more opportunity, but you have a potential.
But more potential,
right?
I feel like one second. I ain't saying you have more.
Okay,
listen, I ain't saying you have more. I ain't saying they have more or less potential. They have potential to cheat.
We agree that. We asking a question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the whole conversation topic. Who has more potential? women are more potential.
Yeah, women have more potential, but man got potential too. They be going harm on them up.
You know what
them
they say? Who don't beg, don't want. Close mouth, don't get
wait,
fed.
They is big different.
They is big.
So what
but the thing is, right? When you think about potential,
hold on, let's get some water. Let's get some water right quick.
No. All I'm saying is, Nishi, what you're not seeing, and the way that we are seeing it, right? The way that we see it is that us as men and the men that we know, right? Like most of us here haven't been on dating apps for a long time, or for any significant amount of time. But for the men that we know, we've seen them be on dating apps, and the thing is, they get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 girls that potentially want to be around them, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas most of the women, literally most of the women that I know, have had like hundreds of matches, like hundreds. Like any person they decide to swipe right on is an instant match.
Okay.
That makes for like, let's take what you were saying, right? Those men who are very thirsty, they might get a match, right? Let's say their match potential is 3%. The same woman, the same amount that a woman would get in contrast to him is like 30 or 300%.
And they ain't even on the same magnitude. Yeah.
I get that, right? But then, no, you can speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that women are cheating for sure. I'm just saying when it comes to potential, they have more ability too.
Yeah, I understand that. But what you gotta realize is when you say the part where women, once they swipe right on someone, is a bigger chance of them getting the connection. That's right? Because on dating apps, women don't like to shoot they shot first. They don't like to. Me personally, when I was on dating apps, especially on certain dating apps,
you was on dating apps?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was on it, but on dating apps, certain dating apps, you can see
their little toes in that button.
I only do Things Lee for fun. I never actually been on dating app.
But no,
Things Lee is stupid but funny.
On some dating apps, you can see who swipe right on you without swiping right on them. Mm-hmm. So those type of dating apps, those ones, I could see like women necessarily they just be scared to shoot the shot first.
Yeah, so whoever shoots shot first, they just go accept the shot, basically.
Me personally, I used to wait till I see someone who swipe right on me, see if I'm interested in them, they look interested or not.
And then you could just bite the payday. Boy,
if I don't think I just
you are,
you know.
You are, boy. Y'all smooth criminals.
Honestly,
you are, baby.
I can't lie, Nietzsche, you had a very decent way of going about it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of women who literally just swipe right if he looked good in the first picture. If you don't grab it by the first picture,
game over.
He gone.
No, but that's the thing though. You have to post a good first picture. Once your first picture good, okay. And then when that person match with you and they go across your whole profile again, then they decide, a couple times I do it though. I see a good profile, the first profile picture good, but no, I like to go through the profile. Because now on them type of apps now, they have like where you could tell them like your personality, what you do for fun, stuff like that. Let's go through and read it. From I see 420 friendly, hell no, X. 420 friendly? What you talking about? X, they post they links 420 friendly. Do y'all not have a home? Like, what you talking about? Links. Everybody want link. What you want link to do?
Link up, hookup culture, OP.
Movie and 420. I don't do movie and 420. So, at one point in time, I didn't even know what 420 was. I thought I was slow.
No, man, I think that's like speed inside. That ain't
not even that. You know what's disappointing?
He was talking about speed.
Wait, no, wait, hold on. You know what's disappointing? Let me stop the topic for a second. You know, Easter was a few, last week.
Yeah.
And Easter fall on 420.
Before you stop the talk, we're gonna bring up the last question for anybody to think about. Y'all can think about it. The question, because we're gonna wrap up real soon. Should someone's past cheating history be a red flag, even if they seem loyal now?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, continue. We get on that.
But what I was gonna say, y'all see how Easter was,
Yes.
Last week for 420. Why you comment on social media typing Happy 420 before you type Happy Easter.
You talking about that?
That's
one of my boys?
because I'm gonna keep it real.
That's some crazy work, y'all. Y'all ain't think that's crazy work?
That is crazy work.
That's crazy work.
Happy 420, not even Happy Easter.
Most of these people in Canada and the US, like in North America, they's devilish. They's devilish. I'ma just keep it 100. Like I met some of these people and this bait, like I was talking to this bait and I was like, man, that's a nice Easter weekend, right? He's like, yeah, man, 420. I was like,
hey,
shut
hey,
up. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, have some respect, bro. Like,
what are you talking about 420 for? Like,
okay, so I think the disrespect is
yeah,
so
but
crazy.
that make me mad, babe.
I get it. Now, what I was going to say was, we got to get back on topic. We do have to get back on topic.
Oh, yeah, we can get back on topic now. I just wanted to put that out there. That does make me mad.
I understand, Lacey. I get it. Should someone's past cheating history be a red flag, even if they seem loyal now? 1,000%. 1,000%.
Like
100,000%.
The easiest way to put it, Bart, the easiest way to put it is, right? Like, if you was a thief, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, let's even say you wasn't a thief, but you hire a thief to run a certain job for you. You're like, hey, I need you to go in and thief a bowl for me.
Thief.
And come bring it back to my house.
Why you use a bowl though?
I don't know. It's a decorative bowl, right? Like she gonna see the decorative bowl.
That's a crime from 3 generations. Yeah, somewhere.
You won't know if that thief could bring it to your house, cause that's a thief.
But you right though. Yeah, you gotta think about it though, for real. I think once you's a cheater, it's a big possibility you're gonna do that again, because especially if you get multiple cheating relationships where you was the cheater.
You just habitually,
and you know what you was doing.
You just habitually be stink. Yeah, get the fuck on, man.
Like most of the people that end up with like a seasoned cheater,
say a seasoned cheater,
also a cheater, bro.
Yeah, because exactly, because you know you've been cheating.
Both of y'all cheat on your partner to be with each other. Like, you know.
Yo, bro, just out of bad. Perfect.
You know niggas cheated. You know homie cheat before, right? Why you going with him? You think he changed because of you? No, I don't care what nobody say. Nobody cheated.
You know why? Because I could change him. He can never do that to me.
Exactly. I changed him. He changed for the better. He changed for me. Oh yeah, he changed for you. Right. You next.
Right. You supposed to be next in line.
No, Nisi. This one I feel like you have to agree with. Women love projects.
They love to fix them.
What? If I agree with you, but hold on. If I agree with you, they like talk, but they can help, they can fix, man. And me personally, with that song name, with that lady love woman just come up with a song. I am not Bob the Builder. I am not building no man for the future. I don't see potential.
He said I want to see results.
I don't see no potential. Gals, like literally, like some of the gals that I was friends with and stuff, they just tell me, "Oh, I can fix." I'm like,
no, you can't. I can't even fix myself.
Like, for real, like you out here going out every weekend. You out here hanging with your same stupid friends, and you talking about you can fix them up.
Okay. Me personally, I know I can't fix
yourself out. You ran your freaking out. You need to try go fix yourself.
Listen, I know I can't fix no one. I don't. So you ain't coming with no. Come, fully cleansed, fully clean. I can't help you.
Are you fully healed? Are you fully healed, Nisi?
I ain't even fully healed. How am I supposed to fully help you?
That's exactly it. Like I feel like
no. The reason why I asked that question is, Nisi, how can you expect someone to come fully healed if you're not fully healed?
That's the point. So
like people let me expect.
My thing, like Vince, where you come from? You was quiet all the time.
See, I agree, but like what I'm saying is like most of us in this conversation, we in our 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me fix that. All of us in this conversation is in our 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of us are in a position to fix nobody, like we in our 20s, like we trying to fix whatever issues we made when we was teenagers, man. Because let's be honest, no matter how much you believe in God, however much you align with God currently, When you was a teenager, you probably made mistakes. I'm not saying they were heavy mistakes. I'm
But they
not
were
trying to compare mistakes. I'm just saying that there was mistakes, right? So in our 20s, we literally just trying to fix ourselves. How the hell we gonna fix other people?
Right. We need to, first of all, we trying to get our life together. You trying at 20, you trying to get your career on track, know what you doing so you can be set for your 30s. How you trying to build a man? And then when you build these people and they find out you done build them up, and they gonna think, some of them is think they tell better standing now, so they end up leaving the person who helped build them
Stupid.
and move on with someone who then
Hell no.
That's what has happened when you build, when people play that. That's why people tell you don't build no man, don't build no woman. As soon as you build them, they
Like
move
you are
on.
not playing Lego,
Because they
man.
ain't gonna
You
respect
20
you.
now.
They
Let me tell you
ain't gonna
something.
respect you.
Wait, let me tell you something. If I build you and you try to leave me, I taking you with me. Me and you gotta go.
Like for real.
Wait, me and you got to go. We go. I know where we going, but we going somewhere. We going somewhere far from existence. Cause in a way, I building you up, and I build you up to a good potential. And after you reach that potential, you talking about you don't see me fitting into your life no more. You won't see me fitting into your
audacity.
No, the
audacity for real, man.
You are down.
Stupid.
You can imagine that down.
Hold on, how you record this, man?
How you record one?
Because I gotta record Nisi, man.
No, for real, but you can imagine a nigga. You can imagine a down dog, a nigga, a dog. You gotta consider them dogs. They down like a dog at this point.
Dirty dogs.
You bring them up from a dog to actual human, and then they will leave you and have the audacity to say you don't fit in their life.
The audacity.
We going. We ain't being in existence no more. We might just go to hell. We might just go. Somewhere together. We ain't being in existence because think about it.
She's saying like we could go on a little trip.
Bro, building a person
but only I could come back from it.
But that's mental and physical hard work on to building someone, and you won't have the audacity to say I don't fit in your life, in the characteristics of your life no more. We different now. How we get different now? And I just build you up.
Audacity. See, like that's what I was, man. Like, I'll be honest. I don't want to get too deep with it, but that was what I was thinking. My last relationship, right? When my last relationship was ending, I was kind of thinking the same thing. You telling me I spent these years allowing you to grow into what you became right now, and you want to talk about we don't work together right now? That's bullshit.
That's all bullshit.
Bullshit. And that BS only came out. That BS only came out because she was influenced by whole friends. I'll be honest. It's whole friends and whole behavior from like the same people she hanging out with. And as a man, because I'm in a relationship too early, I wasn't able to be in that position where I could tell her just like, hey, you can't do that stuff. Because when I tried that, and here's the thing, because I was too young, I tried to say that, and she was like, oh, but like this and that, and she want to argue with me, this and that. Look, as a man, the next time a woman try to argue with me about that, you could go on your way. It's as simple as that. You would kick rocks. Because here's the thing. If I am expected to take care of your health, if I am expected to take care of your safety, if I am expected to take care of your finances, and then you don't want to listen to me, all right, cool. Go about your way.
The audacity. That's all I could say. The audacity.
Because when I was young, I was still doing all those things. Mind you, at the time, I was an immigrant in a country where I couldn't even make money.
Exactly.
So
it's even worse for you.
So watch this. She was someone who was a citizen. She was a citizen. She was a citizen of this country. She could make as much money as she wants. Me as someone who barely had his fucking papers was still making enough money to make sure that she was covered. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you. Right?
I could expect it.
Because I moved here. I moved here in grade 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So watch this. I was on a student visa.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I have to do? I had to do jobs that were like under the table.
That was shady.
I was working. I was working landscaping. I was doing crypto trading and stuff like that under the table. I was doing stuff under the table to have money enough to support my lifestyle
and her,
and not be a burden upon my parents,
right?
and be supporting my girlfriend, who had the ability to work anytime she wanted to,
Insane.
right? And in that situation, I was putting up with everything. And at the same time, she want to talk about, oh, my life going this direction and your life going in that direction. All right, cool.
Yeah, get the flick on, yeah.
like, move on.
Yeah. Like, come. You doing too much. You doing more than enough. All right. Well, with that being said, lady and gentlemen, everybody in the chat, I think that's gonna be it. But we've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes. That was a good talk, Vincent.
That was a very good conversation.
It was amazing, actually. We had a lot of feedback. We had a lot of views so far, and
yeah, good amount of views, man.
Yeah, hopefully we could have another talk like this in the future. Cause boy, listen, Nisi, next time you could come earlier, and
yeah, you gotta come early, Nisi. We gotta have a full conversation.
Yeah, because a lot of the points that we would have made, I'm sure she would have her moments of disagreeing. But it would have been very.
It's always good to have an antagonizing.
It is. But I think it was a success that the stream went as it is, and yeah, that's gonna be all. So hope that everybody enjoys, and you guys have a good night. And